if you go listen to like a lot of my house records, like I'm not making like tech house records with a bunch of fucking lasers on the drop. I think that's I think I've been
taking
pretty
shots at right now.
fucking everybody, dude. Like dead ass. No, fucking everybody, bro. You're either true to yourself and your sound, or you're one of these people who has no fucking idea what they're doing. It'd be like you trying to make fucking Latin music.
Listen,
Which
I got
you
a couple
can.
tracks coming out, dog.
which you could if you were actually in the culture, then it would make sense.
You've been in LA for a minute, dog.
Listen,
Bro, you're
so
on your LA shit
so
right now.
underrepresented.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Two very special guests, people that we've had on before, some fucking legends in the building, you know what I'm saying? The couch is full, my heart is full. I need you guys to subscribe. Diamond Cut, I got you. We're doing it at the top of the episode. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. I know how it goes. I watch a lot of pods. I don't subscribe to most of the channels, but that's because they don't need it. I need it. I need a little bit of help. That's all I'm saying. Just hit that button. Let's go, champ. We're back. Thank you guys for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
LA's finest, Apollo XO,
Fuck, dude.
and the Chicago God, Big Once,
The Onceler,
Ian Osborn Audio. I mean, this is like your third time on here, and
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever even spoken once about what you do
We haven't.
because we can't
We haven't
stop
at all.
talking about DJ shit.
Yeah, we have not at all. Well, actually, when young Apollo just hit me up like an hour ago, being like, "Hey, you should come on with me," he was like, "Oh, you're my engineer. We could actually get into some like nerd shit finally."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know what strategy wants to talk to me about, dude. I don't fucking have anything.
well, speaking of,
I had some questions about your hair choice, but
speaking of strategy, I feel like there's some congratulations in order.
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Do you want to tell is this the first pod since it happened?
I just did one with Steve Smooth where I said my fiance.
Okay.
And he said, what? And I was like, yes.
Yeah. So congratulations to you, man. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It feels good. I'm excited.
Good.
The boy's grown up.
I'm
I know.
excited. I'm not having a DJ at the wedding. We're doing a band.
Good call.
I was gonna say, I was gonna come in here and I was actually gonna say that, like, I know I'm your favorite DJ. Don't ask me to DJ your fucking wedding, dude.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you know everybody at this point. Who would you choose to be your wedding DJ?
Yeah, and nobody's gonna get hurt if you don't say their name. So who, if you were going to book a DJ, who would be the DJ that you would book?
For my wedding,
Yeah,
I'd have to say Heavy. And he would hate that
I
because
would
he
also
hates
book
wedding
Heavy for
DJs.
my wedding as well.
He hates wedding DJs?
Like his big, like if I play the OG September Earth, Wind and Fire, he's like, that's a corny wedding song.
But he
Whereas
does
I'm
weddings.
like, that's the illest song ever made.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, their whole thing is they honestly do. They like that's why they're so successful as a wedding company, because they operate from the standpoint of club DJs doing weddings.
yeah, but there's other, I mean, there's a few of those around here
Yeah.
that do that are, you know,
But none that were like the pinnacle of Chicago club DJs. You know, or club
Okay,
DJs
yeah,
around
yeah,
the country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because each one of those three guys has toured kind of, you know, not like you've toured, but like nationally and, you know, done international stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think any other company operates from the standpoint of, yo, our DJ's headlining
That's
Tao tonight, and then
fair,
he's also
yeah.
going to play your wedding tomorrow.
yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy. I agree with that.
Heavy, yeah.
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 He's the guy knows.
He'll be happy to hear that, I'm sure.
He knows good music and he's always high energy.
He knows how
There's
to
even
fucking
like
DJ
I'm
too.
DJing with him now at Celeste. We're going B2B hour for hour for fucking 8 hours Friday and Saturday
8
night.
hours?
We're doing 9 to 4, 9 to 5.
Oh my God.
It's going. It's a long shift, but it's good. And
I mean, if you're playing with your boy and like keeping it interesting, that I could see that time
all
going
disco?
by relatively quick.
all disco, legit all disco, not a single non-disco song.
Like disco, but also disco house, or no?
You could throw a little bit of disco house in there.
I mean, I was going to say, is this like original 70s
Like new disco?
As much of that as possible. I mean,
okay.
there's not 8 hours worth of that.
Yeah.
There's, you know, like 3 hours worth of that.
Yeah.
So you got all of that. And then there's a ton of really good edits of, you know,
Yeah.
Rihanna songs that are disco-fied and
That's cool.
Icona Pop, Disco
Sure,
5,
yeah, yeah,
Pitbull,
yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking straight
actually
disco.
cool.
It's crazy. But he's always
I love
just
that they
high
actually.
energy.
I love that they stick to that format.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, that's what they're trying to do now.
that's good.
That's
'Cause they
White
weren't
White
sticking to
Shadows.
it, right?
Yeah, White Shadows, like the new entertainment director.
Oh.
He stuck us in there
Sweet.
He came to my gig on Friday night.
at
At
Joy?
Yeah, I looked
Oh,
over and
nice.
he was just walking into the DJ booth, and I was like, "The fuck."
Sick.
Wow, that's random.
Yeah, he
I
was
haven't
like,
seen
"What
that
up,
dude in
dude?"
years,
I haven't-
man.
yeah, same. I think
Years.
the last time I saw him was at Eddie Mills thing.
There's only one white-haired DJ allowed in the DJ booth at one time.
That's why I couldn't go to
My
your.
hair
I couldn't
was,
go on
yeah,
Friday. Yeah.
My hair was not white at the time, or I swiftly would have asked him to leave.
Okay, all right, good.
No, he's cool though. I was really surprised to see him. It was really cool.
Does he live here again, or is
He's
he
back here, yeah.
Interesting.
The kid's back.
I'm gonna have to hit him up. I haven't. Dude, I don't even know how long it's been since I've seen him.
I'm gonna see him
Years and
tonight,
years
I
and years.
believe. Him and Heavy.
Oh, nice.
Got a little meeting, make
Nice.
sure everything's going smooth at disco. But yeah, Heavy is just high energy. That's just
Totally.
his thing. And
Yeah.
I admire it so much because there's like 50% of the time where I don't want to be high energy. I just want to fucking hit a nice groove and just fucking
100%.
groove it out.
Yeah.
But that's not the greatest thing sometimes for a nightclub. And,
Yeah.
and having him come in and just fucking pound it and then really make me
Yeah.
go that route helps a
That's
lot.
an interesting thing too, because like we're all DJs here, and you know that sometimes when it's prime nightclub time and you're really in a groove and really feeling it, you don't want to have to be cool fucking microphone guy. You want to just put your head down and go. You know, so that's dope that, you know, that he can
Yeah.
take over, you know, like, and bring that energy that you might not necessarily want to or have the capacity to do because you're doing some crazy shit, or again, you're like really feeling it.
I hate being a microphone guy too.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a
at
fan.
shows, like if we're doing like EDC or like a festival, you know, I think it's a little different, or like an actual show, like we were playing Radius, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Like nightclub, like maybe 4 times an hour, every 20 minutes, like every,
yeah, that's
you know,
that's
15,
yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
I
That's
kind of
acceptable.
love the mic now.
I know you do.
I fucking
I feel
love
like you've
it.
always
You're good at
loved
it though.
the
I mean,
mic.
there's people that I feel like
love
there's
it.
people that should shut the fuck up, and then there's people that are good at it that should talk on the mic.
So
like,
when I used to play at Sub 51, I used to be all over the mic, like making jokes. And
Oh,
you know
yeah.
who I
Me-
got
me
that
too,
from?
yeah.
I think low key, I might have gotten that from White Shadow. I feel like that's where I got that from, because I went and saw him play a few times. There was a time when I was like going out to his house in LA when he lived out in Glendale and like hanging out there, and then like I would come see him play because he was still playing at Studio Paris every now and then, and so like I really like observed and like kind of locked into that vibe, and like he was kind of on the mic, like he'd like crack jokes at people and shit like that, so I like kind of picked that up. But then when I started playing like places like these bigger clubs like Tao and stuff like that, it's a lot less intimate, you know, and so it feels weird to I don't think I was ever able to like adapt that same thing to like a massive scale, you know. It was cooler when there was like 100 people in the room.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you feel like you got to like yell and like, you know, to get everybody's attention. Where it's in a
Yeah.
1,000-person room or however big that is, that's going to be,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, unless you're on some like countdown stuff where everybody's looking at you anyway. But
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Or if you're the artist, like if 500 people came to see me at a club, then it's a little different.
It's a little
But if
different,
people
yeah.
are just there and I just happen to be the DJ that's playing, then it's like, I don't know.
it's harder to create that, that moment or that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, it helps with the bottles help because then you have something to talk about. There's a sign
See, I
that
would
gives you
never fucking.
information.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of was transitioned out of top 40 like club DJing, is I was not the announce the bottle guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, yeah, like I did it, you know, begrudgingly a few times, but yeah, that is not what the fuck I do. You know, like it's not.
That's
you know,
really
you got the
weird.
wrong guy. Like,
It's really weird when Parliament was popping. I remember one time I like went into the office on Monday and I was like, yo man, we got to do something about these bottle shows, because one Saturday night I think I played the Star Wars theme song like 3 times, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like make a list of presentations, Star Wars theme, Lion King, whatever else the fuck you want to play, Seinfeld theme. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is, but like once somebody buys that shit, cross it off the list, dude.
Yeah.
And like they can only buy it again. Like somebody else can use it again if they like double the amount that was paid for the last one. Like,
but no
that
matter
makes
what
you guys more money. Like,
you're fucking up the flow of the night for everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, like
I know, I agree.
That's what they want. They want to say, stop, look at this, pay attention to it. It's what you hear. It's what you see. This moment is for this person. And if they're spending $10,000+, I think it's acceptable. If they're spending $750 on discount bottles,
to me, that doesn't. I don't give a fuck about any of that, because to me, it's like, dude, there was a spot. This was probably 10 years ago, and I don't even remember the name of the club because it didn't last very long. But it was on Ontario somewhere, and it was all about bottle service. And I think actually White Shadow, maybe I got in there somehow, and I played a Saturday night and fucking destroyed. And it's so much that they fired the DJ that was going to play the next Saturday and had me in there the next Saturday. The next Saturday was like 10 times the bottles being sold. And I was stopping every like 15 minutes to load up some bullshit. And we both kind of realized at that point, like, because I was getting pissed. I was like, dude, you brought me in here to fucking do my thing. Like, you saw what happened last weekend. Like, why are you making me stop? And you know, like, I don't even think I was on the mic. It was just playing the Star Wars theme or whatever.
Super
and I was
Mario
like,
Bros.
Yeah. And I was like, well, you know, why are we doing this? Like, if this is the way this club's going to be, I'm not your guy for this, you know?
Where was it? What was it called?
I don't even remember, man. It was on
Ontario?
Mm-hmm. But this is like 10 years ago.
Shay?
Yeah. Oh wait, Ontario. Yeah, wait.
Whatever
Ontario.
Lore and fame used to be Entourage.
It was not Entourage. It was post Entourage, but it wasn't that same building.
Trophy
Are you
room
sure it
was
wasn't
across the
Shay?
street.
It might
Because
have been Shay.
Shay does shit like that. It's Electric Hotel now.
This place closed. Oh no, it was on the other side of the street. It was on the.
Oh, Bevy.
It wasn't Bevy either. It was like just east of Bevy.
Just east of Bevy.
It was some club, yeah, like on the corner, or maybe the block east.
I mean, it would have had to be an Entourage, right?
It wasn't Entourage.
No, that's the only
Enclave? No, Enclave wasn't by there. It's
Enclave is on the other.
trophy
It's on
rooms.
Franklin.
Well, it's what
Trophy room is
Dude, again,
right
this is like
across
10
the
years ago.
street
The club lasted maybe a year.
Entourage.
They put so much money into it, and it was like it lasted maybe a year, and then it was gone. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's interesting.
I'm almost
the
positive
bottle clubs.
it was on Ontario.
Bottle clubs suck. I get the business. Like, I get it from a business standpoint. You know, like, I do agree. $10,000, you can do whatever you want. If I was spending that, if it was me spending that $10,000, I'd be like, I can't say that. Like, I can't say that I would want the Star Wars theme for like my bottle presentation. You
Because
know?
you're not a fucking loser.
Yeah. I don't know,
The Curb Your Enthusiasm theme.
dude. Nah, never a chance. You two are Curb Your Enthusiasm people.
What
and
about a Seinfeld riff?
maybe the
that would be
Seinfeld,
better
the
for you,
Seinfeld
yeah.
riff would be a little funny, dude.
Yeah.
Seinfeld riff would
That
go
would be
hard.
funny. A Seinfeld remix, that would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in that mindset, and I don't think I've spent money on a bottle twice in my life. One time I was blacked out in Dallas. The second time is me and Deox actually bought a bottle when the Cubs won the World Series at Underground, because remember they used to do CIA Sundays, and they'd like give everybody like free bottles, like if you were in industry, whatever. And it was I'm pretty sure it was when the Cubs won that same weekend. They had like a fashion show or some shit, and me and Deox went, and we had a table with like friends and like whatever, and then our shit was gone, and the Cubs were coming in with the World Series trophy, I think, and they were like, yeah, you guys gotta go buy a bottle.
They came into the club?
Buy a bottle or fucking dip. And so we were like, I mean, it's $150 a person, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's money well spent.
Yeah. Cubs are there, you know, whatever.
I've definitely bought some bottles with my boys, some bachelor parties. I remember buying Dolo some bottles on his birthday one year. It's fun to spend your money. You know, my initial Jew brain says no, put your wallet back in your pocket. But once you get past that, you spend a couple bucks.
There is something to be
feels
said
good.
for if you got a crew of people just not having to deal with the bar or anything like that. But like for me, I don't want the fucking presentation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
never
I've done that a
wanted the
couple times,
presentation.
like where when I used to DJ at Roof a lot, like we would go there for my girl's birthday, and I was like, I swear to God, if you come out here with sparklers, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like to the manager, like who's my homie, but like don't fucking like just
Yeah.
we'll do a bottle, I'll pay normal price. Do not have the girls bring the sparklers. No,
yeah,
absolutely
the
not.
presentation thing's always been weird to me. I don't care about that. Just bringing out, especially because it's like the girls are standing there all awkwardly waving these things, and
Right.
like it's kind of like you're like, what do I do with my hands? Like you know,
Literally,
like,
yeah.
and also too, there's always that one sparkler that refuses to fucking go out. So then the girls just standing there like extra long, just like waving this sparkler, and then it gets to the point where you're like, oh.
Dude, the first few times I DJ'd in bottle service clubs, and the sparklers would go off and I would smell it. It smells like an electrical fire. And so the first time I remember like looking under the turntables being like, something's on fire. Like, what is going on? Is there like an amp that just blew? Like, did I just fucking blow the sound system? Like, what is going on? Like, there's an electrical fire here, and it was the sparklers. Like,
That's so
that happened a
funny.
few times. It took me a minute to like get used to that smell.
You gotta go somewhere?
You fucking
No, I'm just moving this over so I can get my drink, dude.
your warm
Sorry.
original
No,
Red
it's,
Bull.
It's cold now.
All right.
That's so funny. I think the bottle shit is played out, bro. I was in Arizona on a couple mushroom caps at the club, and they're fucking at the table next to me. The girls in the car, and they're bouncing it up and down. Security, and the other girls are
In a car?
waving it. Yeah,
Yeah, like
they
a
do
little
like
car.
a. You know,
They
like a
pick people up in the
Tykes.
car?
Yeah, they put like
Oh, like York security guards or
bars.
something.
They put like a little kid's car, you know, like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Corvette. They put it on like a frame, and there's bars. So
What?
security puts those bars on their shoulder. There's one guy in
And
the
they
front,
bounce
one guy
people
in the
up and
back,
down?
and they walk the fucking girl over, and
Get
then
outta
someone,
here.
the manager, cues them and go, and then they start bouncing to the music, and the girls in the fucking car.
So everybody watching, if you want to know
Yo,
why
I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
DJ
wait,
in
wait.
clubs anymore, that is the reason.
Yo,
That is the
like
fucking reason.
you gotta show the whole thing of strategy just now doing that.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here,
It's
bro.
so fucking corny.
I
Yo,
like
actually,
I like the 1970s Mercedes
Yeah,
model
that is
car.
cool.
That's pretty sick.
Yo,
but
when people
dude,
first started doing that, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope to me. That's like
mean, it's a good
innovative. That's cool. But
they
now,
do that around the world too.
I guess.
now, by the way,
like every club,
they
it's
do that
standard.
shit in Tokyo. They do it in Korea.
Yeah. So now
like,
it's
yeah.
standard,
you've-
and I think it's played out. And like,
Yeah.
but what would be? How do you do a cool
What do you do-
version of that? How do you make that cooler? Because like it was cool at one point. Now it's fucking.
There. So this actually brings up a good topic. Is that like it's not gonna be cool again? Like it's not cool. Like nightclubs are inherently not cool anymore. Like if you're in the nightclub business, if you're a promoter or if you're a nightclub DJ that doesn't do shit outside of the nightclub, like your business is just tanking real time. Like it straight up is. Like you can look at numbers from like any club. I mean, I'm sure there's clubs that are doing well, right? But they're also not doing as well as they used to, and they probably also have restaurants attached to them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there's something else, like-
every big
Yeah.
group that has like a club, you know, a club arm of their like, you know, whatever their business, like has something else, and also that like that nightlife, that club group has probably reported losses. Like you see it just across the board, and that's why people are throwing like fucking pop-ups and like doing a bunch of other shit, because like clubs are fucking whack, bro. Like, and I've kind of felt like that the whole time I've been DJing. Like if you,
I mean, same. Also, the younger generation is not going out.
and that's what I'm saying.
Nearly
like in 10
as
years,
much.
in 10 years, these like nightclubs, unless they're like they're only gonna survive booking talent. Like booking people that are like DJs that are bringing crowds.
Yeah, like
You know
hard
what I'm
ticket.
saying? Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah.
they're not gonna be. I genuinely don't think they're gonna be able to do like just, you know, random open format like club nights, because it's like, yo, I could go find something cooler to do, and like the people at the door aren't gonna treat me like shit. You're not gonna tax me 1,000% markup on the bottles. Like
Right.
I'm not gonna get pushed around. You
Right,
know, like
right,
there's
right,
just
right.
so many fucking things that like if I wasn't a DJ, you would never find me in a nightclub.
Same.
for all
Yeah.
those reasons just listed. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather go to some cool pop-up at a fucking coffee shop that, you know, or like, you know, Jake's done a few of those pop-ups where he does it in like a convenience store or like a deli, and it's like, those are cool because it's like, you know, you get to go see an artist like play, and it's like more intimate, and I don't know, it's just...
Well, the No Good dudes are just killing it
And
down
No
there.
Good, bro,
They're
No
pocket
Good
parties.
fucking crushes it. I literally, like, they are my most talented friends. Like,
Same.
dead ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
Yeah.
straight up, I love those dudes. I love their music. Like, everything they do is just so fucking dope. Every time I see something from them, I'm like, I'm gonna just
Fun
quit.
fact about
I'm
No-
gonna just quit. Like,
crazy.
Dude,
you know?
they're like I remember when you introduced me to them, and I was like, these guys make art, like
Yeah.
in music, but also like physical art. Like they built that whole studio with books, and like they do mural. Like nobody young makes physical art anymore. Also, fun fact: No Good. The only time I've ever gotten a mix rejected where they use their own mix was No Good. So they're amazing mix engineers too.
Like, when I go to Houston, I obviously stay with them, and their house is like a art gallery.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
like, you could just like look at things in their house and be like, this is some of the dopest shit I've ever seen. And you're like, you painted this? And Tanner's like just fucking making fucking ramen noodles. He's like, yeah, dude, like fucking
Yeah.
did that in like a day. I was like, I just want him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even down to him like doing all his own tattoos. I'm like,
That's hilarious.
you
savages,
guys are
bro.
fucking sick. Like,
Yeah.
and you introduced me to them. Remember that? Because you introduced me to Silas.
When you were in Houston or when he was here?
I'd met him before. I think maybe like 2019, because I was playing at what's the spot that does steak night that they used to play? Where
Every spot in Houston.
Jeremy used to
Bell Station.
Bell Station. Yeah, so I was playing Bell Station through. I can't remember who booked me down there the first time. It might have been Jeremy, but
Probably Jeremy.
I met Silas, and one of the things I remember is he played November 18th right before I went on. And I remember thinking like, fuck, what do I follow this up with? He was like, watch this. He was like, you want to
Still
see
tipping.
Yeah, you want to see a Drake song just send a club up? And I was like, yeah, and he played that, and it just went crazy. And then like I talked to him maybe a few times after that, but then it wasn't until they were up here and you brought him to my studio, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went to your crib.
And we made I don't think anything ever came of that session, but then that was the catalyst for us doing Sugar.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
Sick.
I think that was also my first time meeting Tanner that time too. Yeah. And then we've done a bunch of stuff since, which is super dope. They're incredible musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just there. I was there not this most recent weekend, but Sunday before, St. Patty's Sunday. I stayed at their crib, and we're just hanging out, whatever. And like every couple hours, Radon, who's like their
Yeah.
official manager now, is just coming to them with fucking offers and
Good for that, man.
festivals and
Yeah,
they
main
played
at Red Rocks.
stage and
Yeah.
fucking
Dude.
Yeah.
They're absolutely just crushing it.
I
And
like-
it's well deserved.
I was
bro.
going to say, I'd
Be-
love to see good people win because that rarely happens anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
people that are
straight up.
good people and talented.
Yeah.
Like,
and outside of that too, like even if you're like not doing music shit with them, like they're a good hang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you know, you meet an artist and you're like, yeah, you're a dope artist, but like I probably wouldn't hang out with you like outside of like doing some music shit together. But like I can like actively say like I'd be friends with those dudes, like even if it wasn't for like music shit, you know?
Yep.
yeah.
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 It's like I'm like their number one super fan, dude. Like I actually Saturday night I literally wore their shirt to my fucking gig. Like their
Nice.
No Good shirt. Yeah, dude, they're fucking sick. That's
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited
Big
to
fan.
see
foam
them.
finger.
Yeah.
Very excited to see them just crush it. It's and yeah. Well, let's pull their cocks out of our mouths for a second and get back to. What are you doing? How's LA going? Last time I talked to you, you were doing like a music school program,
Yeah.
boot camp. I don't know, what is it?
It's really interesting. I feel like it's okay. It's the long explanation is yes, it's technically called like an academy, but it's more of like a writing camp. So are you familiar with what a writing camp is?
I feel like I could put it together, but I don't actually know.
So usually
sure.
for like writing camps, right? Like there will be like a week-long writing camp. And sometimes you're writing for a label, you could be writing for Pitch, or you're writing for a specific artist, right? This is more like a 9-month program, and it's really like a pop star academy. So I'm a producer, songwriter. I am obviously an artist too, because like all my biggest songs have me singing on them. But in this particular situation, I just kind of take the backseat in songwriting and production.
Writing camps, let me interject really quick. Every pop song basically of the last 10 years, with the exception of like Billie Eilish and maybe a couple other people, they come from writing camps.
Yeah. Okay.
They put all the biggest or sometimes up and coming songwriters in a house for a week, and they're just like, write something.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, it might be like specific instructions. Sometimes they're just writing, you know, songs, and then they pitch those songs to artists. Like, almost nobody writes their own music fully on their own anymore.
Yeah.
Again, with the exception of like a couple people.
So
that's what a writing camp is.
Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah.
yeah. I've completely forgot to explain it. Really.
Yeah.
So every week it's like a 9-month program, really like pop star academy writing camp type thing. Every Monday I'm put with a new artist and a new songwriter.
Oh, that's awesome.
So and most songwriters there are also artists, and then most of the artists also do write. So they just kind of figure out who's going to be the artist, you know, and then I'm obviously the producer. I run the studio for the week, and then I have to turn in a song every Friday. The last few weeks they have been like artist weeks, where like I'm executive producing an artist project, maybe with, you know, and I have like 2 or 3 other producers like co-working with me, and then I'm like making all the final decisions on the songs and stuff like that, and kind of putting together a project. That's pretty much all I've been doing. I've written a few songs for big artists that have been picked up. If they go to radio, like, you probably won't be able to get me on the pod for a while, but you know, no, I'm kidding. But I've actually written I think like 3 or 4 songs for some pretty big name artists that, fingers crossed, goes to radio. And then,
so how do you know if it goes to radio? Do they tell you, or you just kind of like watch and hear, and maybe one day you'll hear it and be like, oh shit, it's happening?
So it's kind of like muddy water. In some situations, if you are a songwriter, you could just be walking around and hear the song on the radio, right? But since I am a producer on all of them, I think I'm a producer on all of them except for one, I would know, because then like production wise, I have points on the master, so like they have to get cleared, you know what I'm saying?
You have to
it's just a lot of legal shit. So like songwriters only get publishing points, they usually don't get master points, and they only get paid out like if the song ever comes out. Producers get paid out beforehand. They usually get an advance for like studio time, because it's not free
like
to run
a flat
studio
fee or something.
Yeah, you get a producer fee because it's not, you know, free to run the studio and like all the mixing. Like, it's just producers get more, so you would know if it's coming out. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully I get a phone call one of these days and they're like, yo, we cut the song and we're going to radio with it. Going to radio means usually they have a pretty good idea that it's going to be a pretty massive song, because it costs them,
especially
it costs a
now,
label, it costs a label quite a bit of money to go to radio. I think it's like $200,000, I think, to go to radio, because then you're pitching it to a bunch of different radio stations. There might be some payola involved in there, like, you know, so
sick. So is this like a branch of a label? Is this like an incubator kind of thing, where anything you make in this academy is you have points on it and you get credit for it and shit, but really like it's the property of whoever set this up?
No, so that's what's really cool about it is so the academy was started by Stargate. Are you familiar with them? They fucking
Katy
wrote
Perry,
and produced Katy Perry, Rihanna,
Gaga, I think a little bit.
Yeah, Gaga, FK,
Yeah.
Twigs. Like they're like still currently doing stuff. Like Mikhail posted his Spotify Wrapped. He's got like 3 or 5 billion streams from the last year. 2 massive super producers. Academy is starting to run by them. The executive director right now is Chris Anacute. He's the one who signed Katy Perry. I think BB Rexa gave Rihanna Ponde Replay. He's the reason Kanye signed Travis Scott. Like, Travis says that in an interview. Like, so it's like top talent as far as like staffing, and then it's run by Stargate, and then we get to keep our songs. They don't take anything. I think they used to maybe like a few years ago, but then I think it got a little complicated with a bunch of stuff, and then they don't anymore. I'm sure maybe in the future, this is the 4th year of it. Maybe in the future they change that if they start really cranking out pop stars, but yeah, they bring in weekly. Maybe they'll bring in a mentor. Like Wednesday, I have a mentor session with Ryan Tedder. You know who that is? The front man for One Republic. He produced Sports Car for Tate McRae. Like he's done a massive amount of production. Ron Flair was there. It was there like 2 weeks ago. They're trying to get like Timbaland in there, like a bunch of people like that. So it's cool. It's really dope because my thing, I didn't get into DJing because like I was a DJ. I was obviously interested in DJing. That's why I started in battle DJing, but I got into DJing because I was already producing music, and my like long-term goal has always been to have my shit on the radio. So like now I'm producing like radio quality music and like with artists, and like really like I can lock into a studio now with an artist for like 4 or 5 hours and produce an actual radio hit, like something that could be on the radio.
So has this changed your sound? Is when you say something that could be on the radio as compared to whatever you were doing before, does that mean your sound has shifted?
So it's really interesting, I think, and you can speak to this too. Before I went to Tokyo and then I came back to LA, I think I was trying to be like, I got lost in what is the Chicago DJ culture and like the house music culture, where everybody's trying to get like a Beatport top 10 and then, play ARC and like, do the Insomniac circuit and stuff like that. I kind of got tied up in that and lost in that, and like who can make like the most underground but like still hit record type thing. And now I'm like trying to be the biggest producer on the radio. Like I'm trying to be the DJs that I relate most with now, I think, are like the Marshmellos, Calvin Harris, Snake, and then like sprinkling like some Boys Noise and Skrillex in there a little bit. And then so that's how I describe it. Like I have like my touring DJ production side where it's like I release my own records, featuring other artists, but then also too now I have a side that's like circuit or like Max Martin, where it's like I'm only producing a record for an artist. They decide what happens with it. I have points on the master, points on the publishing, and it gets put out. Cool. I'll post the cover art and be like, yo, produced by me, but it's not a collaboration, So I think that's kind of what's changed. Before I was like trying to be the hottest in the underground, and like now I'm like trying to be the hottest on the radio, just more aligned with my original goal in music.
So does that mean like, are you taking a different approach to your branding, the videos you're posting, TikToks, YouTube, anything? Because I feel like you've been more quiet lately, right?
Yeah.
Because you were going hard on social media. Like you had the algorithms fucking decoded in your notebook, in your backpack.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I mean,
you really haven't had time to do anything but the school stuff.
Well, I haven't had time. So I'm there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. some days 12 p.m., 12 a.m., I guess. But yeah, that's exactly what that means. I've kind of just taken a step back from pretty much DJing in general and producing in general. It's like a step sideways to catapult forward, I guess, if you would say. So like here in like a month or two, I've been kind of getting like strategy stuff ready so that like when I am done with the program, we just hit the ground running and like go back at it. But yeah, there will definitely be a different approach, and I think I've gotten it kind of decoded and figured out what I'm going to do and like how to best approach the situation. But I mean, I talk to him every week because I'm always sending him records and being like, yo, I think this is cool, tell me if it sucks, like, like type shit. But I don't know.
Yeah, we're trying to get like a I guess at least ideas, so when he can fully focus on doing art, artists for you, then I'll have a consistent supply of music coming in to mix for him.
So right now I think my demo Dropbox has 75 tracks in it. I could drop a track every week. for the next year. And then by the time that's done, I could probably drop 300 more. So I could do probably 5 tracks a day, depending on if I have a songwriter and an actual artist. And that's just what like working every day does. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and also you learn instruments. Like I can play 3 instruments on top of the drums. So like I'm more fluent in piano. I'm more fluent in the theory for like guitar and bass now, and like actually playing those. I'm not gonna go play in a band, but you know, if I'm sitting with a singer songwriter, I'm not gonna start with a beat. I'm gonna start with an acoustic guitar. You know. But I don't think my sound has changed too much. I think it's been refined.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, like maybe the tempos are different, but sonically, at least, like, you know, one of the reasons why I think you and I work so well together is like we like the same kind of music, specifically the same kind of like house music, like stuff that's dark and has some like bite to it, you know.
And I think also too, like my appeal with house music is like I make house music for people who might not think they like house music,
right?
You know, like if you go listen to like a lot of my house records, like I'm not making like tech house records with a bunch of fucking lasers on the drop, and like I haven't sold my soul to the techno machine, you know. And like I think that's I think I've been
taking shots at right now.
Fucking everybody, dude. Like dead ass. No, fucking everybody, bro. Like everybody has been like you're either in two fucking, well, there's 3. Like you're either true to yourself and your sound, or you're one of these people who has no fucking idea what they're doing, and they're trying to make Afro house now, and they're trying to make techno, and it's like, bro, 90% of y'all motherfuckers don't even have an Afro. Like you don't even know the fucking culture. So get the fuck out of it. Like you're not you're not African, you're not black. Stop being a fucking culture vulture, dude. Like dead ass. Like 90% of the people in these fucking genres don't even fuck with the culture, like the black culture and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like you trying to make fucking Latin music.
Listen, I got a couple tracks coming out, dog.
which you could if you were actually in the culture, then it would make sense. But you got motherfuckers here in Chicago who have never listened to an Amapiano track. They've never listened to an Afro house track. They couldn't tell you like any fucking Afro house or Afro beat artists outside of the ones on the Beatport charts, and they're like, oh, listen to my new Afro house song, and they're fucking wearing fucking head wraps and shit, and they think they're fucking Adam Port, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Do you think that people were saying
I
this
just got
about?
so triggered.
No, yeah, you're 100%
it's
right.
So
I mean,
fucking right. And like, if anybody wants to say anything, please bring them on the pod, and I'll argue this with them.
But the thing is, like, also like something I tell every artist that I work with is like, don't fucking chase trends. Like, don't try to be like, I need to make Afro house records, or I need to make, you know, minimal techno records or whatever. Like, I've had this conversation with almost every artist I've ever worked with. Like, just make shit you want to make. If you're in this to like chase trends and make money, you're gonna fail, because you're never gonna develop like your own style, right? Like, only like make what you want to make. Give it to me, I'll make it sound better. And you know, you shouldn't be being like, oh, well, now, you know, minimal techno or laser drops is, you know, the biggest thing on Beatport. This is what I have to do. Like, no, make the music you want to make and do, you know, make it the best you possibly can.
And it's different.
And something will happen.
Yeah. And it's different if like you have a sound and like that your sound is easily adaptable into Afro house, or you can take parts of Afro house and include it in your sound. That's different than just like waking up one day and being like, damn, Kind music's super hot, I should start making music like
I have
that.
to make, yes, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, to anybody that might see this and be like, oh, well, like that's maybe kind of racist, you know what I'm saying? To say that like you should, like, because you're white, you shouldn't make Afro house or like anything like that. While that may seem like that, that's not the case, because I'm coming at it from the standpoint of like, even with like house music and shit like this, I say this all the time. When you look at the amount of POCs in dance music, we're largely like underrepresented, bro, from like a music that was invented by fucking people of color, you know what I'm saying? And like the LGBTQ community, right?
You've been in LA for a minute, dog.
Listen,
bro, you're
so underrepresented. And it's like, it would be cool if like, you know what, I have been in LA for a while, but
You haven't been in LA for that long.
right. But
first of all.
this is like this is an actual fucking issue though, bro.
Yeah.
Because like the cultures are literally being stolen from people of color, and then they're being underrepresented, and then the people who are stealing the cultures don't fuck with people of color, and they're not putting them on. They're literally taking the sounds of Africa and turning them into fucking
Beatport records,
frat bro Beatport records.
Okay,
Right,
wait.
yeah.
So let me get to the bottom of this, because this has come up a couple times on the pod recently. What? So like, who is doing the stealing? Like, if I could put a face to the thievery,
The white fucking frat bros that go to UCLA. Not that UCLA.
like,
is
are
a
you
bad
talking
one,
about-
But that's a good description.
Yeah.
are you
of
talking
it,
about the
know?
kids that listen to this music, the kids that enjoy this music?
It's fine to enjoy it. It's fine to enjoy it. I'm talking about the people who are making it and then making
so
it, like taking it and
kind
making
music is the biggest in Afro House at the moment, correct?
Correct.
Are they the culprits?
Kind music. One of them is actually black.
I don't.
One of the dudes is
I
actually
know
black.
nothing about
One of the
I
dudes
don't
is actually
either.
black. So, and they've been doing it for a while. And
So
they
they're not-
obviously they pay homage to other artists, and they have artists of
You're
color
not
like on their
saying you
lineup.
have to be black to make.
I am not saying
You
that
need
at
to
all.
have some kind of.
Tie to the culture.
Yes,
You have to
yes.
have that ass, bro. That would be like you making Latin music and then blowing up as a Latin artist and then putting a bunch of other white Jewish kids on your opening act for a fucking Latin show.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying, but what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is, where is this happening? Who is doing this?
Bro, go
you're
look
saying
at-
that it's not
okay.
kind.
Who's doing it? Hey, pull up Beatport Hot 100 right now and in Afro House and go through the names and see what the names are. And then go to their profile and see what they look like. It's literally happening in real time. A lot of motherfuckers in Afro House don't have afros.
Yeah, but like,
They're not paying homage to the fucking culture,
what would
bro.
be paying
They're-
homage to the culture? Growing an afro?
No, not growing an afro.
Like,
I just
what-
say that to be funny. I say that
I
to
don't
be funny. But it's like paying homage to the culture would be like including other people of color on your fucking lineups. I've literally seen Afro House fucking lineups with no people of color on the lineup. That should be illegal. That should be a federal fucking crime. Like, you know, like
the theory of that is, yes, that would be a little weird, I guess. But like, is this just an internet thing that people are complaining about and making a big deal, or is this like actually happening? Is what I'm trying to say.
it's actually happening. It's actually happening throughout dance music. Name one big person of color.
Black Coffee.
Okay, but he is not. No. Yeah, I'm talking about mainstream dance though. Like mainstream dance, mainstream house that isn't Black Coffee. That is like huge. Like go look at EDC
next
or
to-
Ultra lineup.
Yeah.
Like,
next to John Summit and Calvin Harris and Tiesto.
Yes. Who do you have?
A black dude who would be on like those lineups with
You
those
don't have
headliners.
a single one.
Okay, so
Or look at even like the house scene, like the actual house scene, like the tech house scene, like the ARC lineup.
Green Velvet.
You know, Green Velvet. Okay, that's a good one. Name another one. Like keep naming them. Like is the ratio of people of color to like the white dudes who like came in and kind of, you know, like not stole the sound, but like started doing the sound.
Is it
the
stealing,
ratio
or is
even-
it like is it these people that created this sound have inspired other people to love and also create this music, and that's what I imagine they set out to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm not saying okay. So
But there's also the fact of like these pioneers that are now dying at a like ridiculous rate, like penniless, and they never made any money in their whole career. You know.
But then they're
And
being
you-
sampled by fucking.
And then you have-
literally, bro. Literally, I just had a conversation with fucking Godfather the other day
Yeah.
about a prominent Chicago artist who tried to sample DJ Dion. Offered him $3,000 for a record that had like 10 million 10 million impressions and was a viral fucking trend.
Really?
Wanted to give him $3,000 for the sample.
Yeah.
Which is what should he have gotten paid, you think?
30 grand.
I was gonna say, yeah,
30 grand,
50
at
grand, yeah.
minimum. 30, 50 grand at minimum. And the record was already out.
Did he take the $3,000 or no?
No,
What
because
did he say?
Godfather owns the record. Dion called him and was like, "Yo, what are we gonna do with this? They're
Really?
offering me $3,000, and the record was
Godfather
already
said,
out."
What did
And
Godfather
was
say?
like,
he said, "I own the
"Get
record.
fucked."
I'll take the $3,000."
"No,
What do you
no,
get?
no,
No,
no." They, I mean,
what ended up happening?
it went to court.
Because
and
this is not like I
issue-
hate to be that guy, but this makes for a fantastic pod.
right. It does.
It's not really, to me, a race issue. It's a value and legality, and
So here's the thing.
like it's the
That's part
same
of it,
issue
too.
with Chappelle only getting paid $5 million when he thinks he should have made $50 million, or me only getting paid $750 when I think I should get $1,500.
I agree.
This
And
pops up anywhere.
I don't want to sit here and be the guy that's like, oh, it's because I'm black, it's because I'm Hispanic. Like, I don't want it to seem like that at all. But what I am saying is, if you are going to make the music of a different culture, then you should at least fuck with that culture. You should know more about it instead of just taking and not giving anything back. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't be white and make Afro house. I'm not saying you can't be a white Jewish dude and not make Latin music. Like, you can do that. If you want to do that, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to make Latin music, then you should probably fuck with other Latin people. You should have Latin artists on your lineups. You should have, you know what I'm saying? You should represent the culture that you are taking from.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
the quote, yeah.
Because if not, then you are culturally, like, you're just stealing from that culture and not putting anything back into it.
Shouts to Long Drink for sponsoring the podcast. Absolutely the best cocktail you can get out there. That's exactly what it is. A cocktail in a can. It's not a seltzer. As you can tell, it's not one of those stupid, long, skinny cans that makes you look like an idiot stick when you're drinking it. This is good stuff. Anyone I give one of these to ask me what it is, where they can get it, and why they haven't had it before. I'm putting people on. You guys are next. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the program. Go to your local liquor store. Target's got them. Wherever you can. Grab a long drink today. Enjoy. Watch the pod. Let's get back to it. Thank you. Are you stealing from it, or like
you are stealing from that culture and you're not putting anything back into it? There's no fucking way around it, bro. You're stealing from the culture.
Like, also, like, whether and putting people on could mean just playing records of people that inspired you,
especially
from
if you
that
have a big
genre.
platform.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're getting booked at EDC off of Afro House or Latin House or whatever, and you're not playing any of that like source material, then you're doing a disservice to that whole culture.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, you like, I keep going back to you making Latin music as the example, just because like Afro House isn't that is prominent in dance music, but like Latin music is such a bigger genre right now, so it's like more understandable.
Like, I got to even know what Afro House was through like Latin, like Tulum shit to me. Like, Afro House is associated with Tulum to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I've never even seen a black dude play an Afro House record in my life. It's all been
It's
all been like Latin.
That is
really quick.
fucking
While
point.
we're talking about this, shout out to Modise, who is actually one of my students at Scratch Academy, who actually is from Africa and plays. I'm assuming they still do their party, a monthly
pushing piano
party,
which is a fucking lit party.
So like,
too.
I'm a piano. Is that associated with Afro House, or those two?
I'm the wrong person to ask about this.
It's a different genre, but it's like right.
I know
it's in their,
piano is definitely African and has
it's like
black roots, but
Afro
like,
House is its own thing. Amapiano is its own thing, but you can play the two simultaneously and still.
But they're the ones. So him and his partner have been really pushing African sounds for a long time, and when he was at the school, which is now like almost 10 years ago, he was like, I think he's from Zimbabwe, and he was like, you know, there's dope and this is before any of this started to blow up. Like, you know, there's dope music from that country and from that area that just has no life here, and that was one of his goals, was to really kind of push it over here. So I just wanted to shout him out.
Yeah,
real
no,
quick,
his
'cause
party's
he's-
dope too.
yeah.
Pushing
I should
piano.
get
I've
him
been
on
a
the
few
pod
times.
and ask him some
You should get him
questions.
on a
He
pod.
might be
He's
a
good
little
people, man.
offended with my ignorance, but that's all right.
I mean, I also like I'm not I don't, as far as the specific genres and things like that, I don't really
Okay, you know
operate
what?
like
You know
that.
what? Hold on.
To me,
if you-
I didn't even know Afro House was an existing genre. I felt like they just took Latin House and put it in this Afro House
right, but
thing.
I
that's
feel like it's
another
very similar, yeah.
issue though too, is that even with Latin house, fucking Latin people are still being underrepresented. The biggest Latin DJ in the world
Is Carnage?
Hugo, he's Gordo's big too. Hugo is a white French dude. Literally the other day I was on YouTube, and shout out to Hugo, he makes some great records. But the other day I was on YouTube and I saw the thumbnail of a fucking YouTube video, how to make Latin house like Hugo and Diplo. What? Like,
But
that's
what-
what I'm saying. It's just like the underrepresentation of the artists who actually make the music.
But
a
that's
good way
like
to
saying-
describe it in a DJ way would be like the clout DJs that gain everything from saying they're a DJ but don't know about the DJ culture. That's the exact same
so there's
thing.
also like the kind of quote unquote right way to do it, in my opinion, is somebody like David Rodigan, who is a legendary UK English radio guy, and he was one of the people that really brought Jamaican reggae and dancehall to the UK. And he's a white dude, and he's like, at this point he's probably like in his 70s, but he had a radio show specifically for like reggae and kind of reggae-ish subgenres in the UK for years.
Yeah.
And it was always like, this is who I'm playing, this is who you should go see. And he would guest on these artists, he would put together shows and bring them all overseas. Like, if you're really about whatever culture you're trying to be a part of, you should at least,
actually be a part
invest
of it.
in it. And
exactly,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Basketball.
Okay. Oh my God.
Created by
The Romans.
white people?
Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't know who created it.
yeah,
I would assume. I don't know. I
whatever
can't
his
sit
name
here
is,
and say I know, but
Yeah, he
Some
put
white
fucking
dude.
Jamie, pull that up. No.
Yeah, he put the peach basket. I feel like I should know this.
Anyways, I already know where this is going, but go ahead.
I just want to see like how it relates. Like, okay, basketball was created by this white dude, and now we all know unquestionably that black people are the best at basketball or even football, and they have taken it over, and amazing, great, fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about that. But how does that transcribe on the other side?
I mean,
of
the only thing I would think at this point is just time. I mean, both those things were probably invented 100 years ago, and it took a long time before the NBA was even really, big like it is now. I think basketball was like the lowest of the sports for a long time.
The basketball teams weren't even playing together. Like, they were separated.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't know even how this
separated by
relates to
a race
anything,
for a while,
but-
weren't they?
that I don't know the answer
I'm
to. I
pretty
would
sure it was like
imagine
anything else.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
I would
James
imagine it was
Naismith,
like
right?
anything
That's
else,
the guy, right?
So
Yeah.
You really knew? He's
Useless
the
knowledge,
person
yeah.
who invented
Basketball, yeah.
That's so
Wow.
funny.
I gotta give you a fist bump for that. That's
Springfield College instructor and graduate student James Naismith.
In like the 20s or something.
1891.
1891.
Okay.
Okay. So it's been 150 years,
So what do you say? So like, but my
Just-
argument is like, it would be kind of crazy to be like, yo, these fucking black people better be representing who the fuck created this game. Like, they better
but they
be
are
out here.
representing the sport, though. That's what I'm saying. They're representing the sport. I
And
don't
so
feel like,
so is Calvin Harris on the main stage
Listen.
playing house music.
okay, but what I'm saying specifically with Afro House is, if you go listen to the Afro House, like, you're gonna go listen to the Beatport Top 10 in Afro House, and each record is gonna sound exactly like the fucking other one. That's also what I'm saying. Like, they're representing basketball because they're good. I feel like the best description is what I just said, and we can move off this topic like at any point because there's so much to be said about it. It'll turn into a 6-hour pod. The literal best description in a way that relates to all of us is some dude walking in this room and being like, yo, I'm a DJ and I have 5 million followers and I go get paid to DJ and say I'm a DJ And then you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, what do you play on? He's like, I don't, you know, I'm not actually the one that DJs. Like, I have somebody DJ for me. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, like, do you mix? Do you know how to mix? And he's like, no, I don't know how to mix. And then you're like, do you know like who invented DJing? Or like, do you know who DJ AM is? Do you know who fucking Chris Carnes is? Do you know who Big Once is? Do you know any of these DJs? And he's like, nah, man, I just like, I DJ and I stand up there and like, you know, I make money. Like, I bring people. That is very literally what is happening across genres in Afro house and Latin house. And that's the best description of it.
We've all accepted that. And there's no real pushback to it. There's no like, we need to stop these people. It's just like, we get it. They sell tickets or they have followers and that's what it is. And they're never going to stop getting booked because they have what they have and it's fine. And real ones will understand and hate and whatever. But like, anyone standing in the crowd who's enjoying themselves watch this guy has no idea or gives no fucks about any of that.
True, but then you get into a slippery slope of like, well, that's kind of like just being like, well, nothing's real.
I just think kind of to like fucking wind this down is like, you know, you're people in the crowd should at least know what this also has to do with like people, you know, like DJs that post videos of them in a club playing some crazy drop and everybody goes crazy and they're not saying what the song is. And you just expect as a fan or whatever, just to be like, oh, this must be their song. You know, that's been a big thing the last couple of years is like, especially in like, you know, like bass music and drum and bass world is these guys playing these fucking bananas drops and then not crediting who it is, or like at EDC in front of like 50,000 people, like, just be like, oh man, I fucking killed this shit. Like not saying whether the source material was made a week ago or 40 years ago. If you're going to be out there in the public eye, whether it's online or in real life on a stage in front of people, and you are getting bigger as an artist from playing other people's music, or whether that's producing or playing or whatever, you're doing a disservice to everybody by not saying what this material is. Whether it's source material that you drop a DJ funk record at EDC, like, and that goes online, you should say, hey, this is a DJ funk record from, 1997. Like, I didn't make this last week. Or if it was, somebody a record that was made by your homie that nobody's ever heard or whatever, or a big record, it doesn't matter. You need to, part of the whole, I think, DJ and online culture in general is just take, reap all the rewards without necessarily giving any credit to where it's due. That's a big thing, I think, in the world right now. I think if everybody would just keep that in mind and really try to do your best to, give some credit to where it needs to go, I think that is a better scene for everybody. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because then you're also educating, like your crowd. And I feel like you'd build a bigger audience if you did that. Because people are like, oh, like, I know where I can go to find good music, and like I know where I can go to like learn more.
That also goes back, I think, to most DJs where, like, at least for me, when I would go see other DJs play, I never remembered a DJ playing the same bullshit as everybody else. We've talked about this before, like that every other DJ on the planet is playing at the same time throughout the world, right? Like the things that I remember are like, oh my God, this DJ dropped this random record that I'd never heard before, or some random 70s funk record that I haven't heard, since I was a kid, or like, some weird album cut. Like I was always the DJ to try to push things that were not, that not everybody else was playing, right? Yeah. And I think that part of the reason you're like that too, that's part of the reason of this whole, like, like why we feel strongly about this is like, you just want to educate people and let people know that there's other things out there than the same.
Yeah. And honestly, when we started this like little pocket of this conversation, honestly, I'm just saying, like, if you're making Afro House and techno right now, like, I hope that you're still making it in 8 months when the genre is
that
dead.
was the main chunk of how we even got here was like, make something you enjoy.
And also too, I want to make it clear. Trends. I do want to make it clear that I'm not saying that you can't be white and make Afro house, that you can't be Jewish and make Latin music. I'm not saying that, because you can be. All I'm saying is, please help push the culture that you're taking from forward.
So if we could just end it, because I know you guys want to end it. What would be, Hugel is a white dude crushing the Latin house scene.
Right.
And from anything that you know, it seems like you don't think that he is doing these things. Paying homage or pushing forward. Or
he has a label that does help push artists forward and stuff like that. I'm just saying, if you are in the, I'm not speaking of him specifically.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was just saying, if you are in that position, then you should be pushing, you know what I'm saying? Because his partner, his label is Make the Girls Dance, I think.
I don't know.
His label partner is Wani Bravo. And so like they do a good job. I follow Wani and I've talked to him a few times, is that they do a good job going through every demo, like finding the stuff.
So that's what I was going to ask, is like, what should he be doing?
Yeah. And
what
I mean,
should
from what I know,
doing? Like what is something that you're not going to be playing a show and stop the music and get on the mic and be like, hey man, I just want you guys to know, like, I mean, I guess you could do this. It would create a cool moment if you were like, this is one of the biggest tracks that inspired me to even get into this genre.
I mean, people do that, you know, like that definitely happens.
Yeah.
And I think it should happen more. I mean,
there's a site that, who fucking used it? What's the name of the DJ? He plays like Prada fashion shows, and Richie Houghton? No.
Richie Houghton.
Tay James. Richie Houghton, yeah. I want to say maybe it was him, because he has the thing on his Twitter, you know, when he's DJing, it'll like a live time update what track he's playing.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't know that, yeah.
So I want to say it was him, but there's a new service that came out where if you're a DJ like Richie Houghton and you're playing like my track, you can put that track in his set list and you can like send me like $1 or something for playing my track. You know, like you can send me a percentage of, you know, the gig fee that you got.
Is anybody going to do that?
We're not all getting Richie Houghton money.
I know. So it'll probably never take off in a big way, but like, I saw that and I was like, that's cool. That's never going to take off. But
play 300 tracks a night. I just lose $300 automatically. Your fucking letting songs ride out. I'm playing Diana Ross, Love to Love You, because it's 19 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. The best bass line ever made, by the way. I just got to throw that in there.
That's hilarious.
Right? That's the one, right?
Bro, have you seen
Diana Ross, yeah.
Is it? I always get confused if it's Diana Ross or Donna Summer.
Oh no, it's Donna Summer. Yeah, no, it's Donna Summer. Yeah,
okay,
Love to Love You. Yeah,
okay,
I played that for you one time actually in the studio. I was like, yeah, this is a 19-minute song. Actually, does not seem like 19 minutes.
You're supposed to fuck to it. That's why it's that long.
Yeah.
1975 by Donna Summer.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new thing that's happening within dance music where it's like somebody will remix a record and then there will be like a bunch of remixes of that remix?
I mean, that's been a thing for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen it a lot recently. Like, cause I've seen like 30 remixes of Clooney's remix of Stephanie, you know, and then you'll get like a bunch of remixes of his remix.
But that's the thing, because it's not a remix, right? Like, whatever backdoor this is just my interpolation of what's happening. I don't know what's actually happening, but I'm assuming that he's not putting out a remix of Ooh, right? Is that the original song?
Yeah, that's what I was
He's not doing it.
Yeah,
this is my Ooh remix. He's going, this is my song where I sampled this or whatever. I licensed it and I'm renaming it to Stephanie.
Yeah.
And now it's mine. And, you know, however that works on the back end.
Yeah.
People are just sampling shit or remixing shit, but then they're doing something. They're making it a cover in some way or something, and they're naming it a different thing. It's not a remix. Like remixing is almost out the window.
Sample for sure. He definitely cleared that sample. Like they will definitely sue for that because that's like her actual vocal. But
wait, he did clear it or didn't clear it?
I'm sure he cleared that. Bro. He get super sued for that. I
don't know what the record.
You'd catch a massive lawsuit.
You're talking about the Young M.A. record?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Hey, yo, Eli, why they stressing me? Yeah.
So somebody remixed. Clooney remixed.
Took the vocal, made a record out of it, which is technically, I guess, a remix,
I mean,
you
if
sample
he-
it, whatever.
He's a
But
big dude. He's a big artist.
that's
He
what
would
I'm
have
saying.
to clear that.
You'd
There's
have
no
to
way.
clear that
Yeah.
sample. But then
Yeah.
people have come out and remixed his like sampled record
Sure, yeah,
essentially,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
I think it's funny.
I feel like there was some switch in the world of music licensing or law
Yeah.
or whatever, where now you can go to a company and be like, hey, I want to do this. This is the remix I made, but I don't want it to be a remix. I want it to be my song.
I'll tell
And
you
then,
what it
like,
is.
You
Yeah.
can get your money off of it still on the back end or whatever the
There's
fuck.
easy-
So I'm super familiar with this. I'll tell you exactly what
Yeah.
it is. It's re-sings. So if I re-sing or replay a sample, like say I want to do I don't know, fucking give me a song.
That's been
Destiny's
around for a
Child,
while though.
Destiny's
Like,
Child.
replays.
Yeah,
that-
but that's how a lot of people are doing it. They just find
But that's-
somebody
that's-
that is close and it
Yeah.
sounds like it, and then it's so much easier to clear publishing than
Yeah.
it is to clear a master. So when you do a re-sing, you only have to clear the publishing. You don't have to clear the master. And then also too, a lot of people, bro, aren't getting big enough to like even have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Hames, I think the dude that did the Goosebumps remix. You remember that when Slap House was like super popular?
I don't know if I know it.
HVMES.
I might have been in Houston playing Chopped and Screwed.
Yeah. Call it
and so,
anthems? Yeah,
so
yeah.
when that came out, it was big. It was around the time that Beck did like Roses and stuff
Okay,
like that. So
yeah,
Slap
yeah.
House was super popular. He remixed Goosebumps and used Travis Scott's original vocal. Bro, that shit got like 300 million plays, and Travis got on the radio too. And Travis's team was like, "Hey yo, what the fuck?
Dude,
Where's
happened-
our money?"
That's been
And
happening
Travis-
since like the 90s though.
but
Like
it was big enough that they were like, "There's a lot of money here in this," and Travis recut new vocals.
so
for it.
that happens though. So like
Yeah.
that a famous story of that is Fabulous Breathe. That beat is a chop of Supertramp, and somehow it leaked to radio and got huge within like a day. Like Funkmaster Flex played it, like he got an advanced copy and they hadn't cleared the sample.
Oh, fuck.
Now all of a sudden everybody in the world is trying to get their hands on this record. And so Supertramp was like, you know, we want like 100% of the publishing plus like 100. It was like insane money back then.
That happened to fucking Tribe Called Quest too, right? With fucking I've been seeing videos about this on Can I Kick
Can I
It or
Kick
Check
It?
the Rhyme, huh?
Can I
Yeah,
Kick
Can
It?
I Kick It? Yeah.
Is it, or is it Check the Rhyme? I
The
don't
guitar,
know.
yeah.
Who's it from? It's from that sample is from fucking like a legendary
Is it
rock
that
star.
white guy sitting there with the little fucking Jufro
I think
on
so, yeah.
stage doing all the sample shit?
It's
You know what I'm
Steven-
talking about?
I think so, but he was like, "Yo, yeah, to clear this shit, like, I want 100% of the publishing." They haven't made a dime off that record.
Tribe, but that happened before. That happened before the record came out.
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed, okay.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
a walk on the wild side, right?
Yep.
It's Can I Kick It, right? You're on fire.
This is literally
Is it
my
Can I
brain.
Kick
We're in his
Can I
zone
Kick It?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many times have we done this? Like when we're in the studio, I'm like, oh, this sounds like something. And I'll like sit there for 5 minutes and be like, oh,
He's
it's
the
this.
master.
Like,
He is the master
Dude, it's
doing
a
that.
sickness, man. That's all. My brain is literally nothing but like original samples and like,
bouncing
like
around.
literally that's,
He's
like,
the original Who Sampled.
it's a sickness, literally. Yeah, but that they cleared that before the record came out. I'm saying like the
Fabulous.
yeah.
The record leaked.
Also, a weird thing about that, the bass player for Supertramp lives in Chicago, and he's a pizza delivery guy.
Stop.
And I know this because he delivered pizza to our friend's house like a year ago.
But was it really him, or was he just like a
No. So really quick story. Me and my wife are at our friend's house and we order pizza and it's from someplace in like Lakeview, right?
Yeah.
My homie's wearing a Beatles shirt. He's a huge Beatles fan. Goes out to pick up pizza. We're waiting for like 15 minutes. Like our friend still doesn't come back. Finally, we look out the window and he's talking to the delivery guy. And finally, our homie comes back like 20 minutes later and he's like, dude, this is crazy. He's like, the guy said he liked my shirt, talking about the Beatles. He's the original bass player from Supertramp, who's from Scotland, by the way, shout out Scotland. And what's his name? He said his name and we looked him up and our friend was like, oh, that's 100% him. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know how he,
Hold on, I got to pee. So
okay. Oh,
Okay.
well, that is such a that's such a crazy thing, because now more than ever, like being in LA and being in like so many sessions and just like working in the like the pocket of the industry I'm in now.
Everybody's driving Ubers and like
it's like if you're in music,
Supertramp, yeah.
If you're in music,
Dougie something.
You're like
Dougie Thompson?
Yep, Dougie Thompson.
You like gotta be in it because you love it, because it's like you gotta be in it because you can't breathe without it, because like unless if you're trying to be real authentic with it, like there's going to be the highs and lows of your career. You can go from Supertramp to delivering pizza, dude.
Yeah,
like straight up, you know. And another have you ever seen Silicon Valley on Apple?
I've never seen it.
Okay, this is super spoiler. I do not fuck with TV shows anymore because of that TV show. I will not allow myself to get emotionally invested in fictional characters anymore because of that TV show. I was real life depressed, bro. I was real life sad for like 3 fucking days.
What's his name? The guy that played Gavin?
Mm-hmm.
Is the guy who literally was trying to get Piper to come onto their...
Yeah.
It's hearsay, but it's based on one of the founders of Google.
That makes sense.
First around. And then like a lot of them...
Yeah.
A lot of those stories... are kind of like Euphoria, but in the
dude, it's so crazy because like you can do everything right. You can be the best guitar player there ever was. You can have the craziest riffs. You can have all the theory knowledge. You can play in the Beatles original band, and then you can bounce over here and do this, and you can fucking rub shoulders with the elite musicians of the world, and still end up a pizza delivery driver.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's just fucking, dude, and you just got to be in it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you're gonna fucking take your life, dude. Like straight up. Like
also,
you know?
Who's to say? I mean, I don't know the story, but who's to say this guy didn't get a solid chunk of change and just fucking blew through it? You know what I mean?
Also, that happens a lot.
That happens
a lot. You gotta like now more than ever. Like, you gotta like know exactly what your moves are to like I already have a plan. Like when I get my deal, whether it's a publishing deal, admin deal, whatever, like I already have the steps in place. I know where the money's going.
You know who your mix engineer is going to be.
I know who my engineer is going to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what's being taken care of.
How do you know you're going to take whatever deal you're offered? Or you mean when you get the one that you want?
What do you mean? How do I know if I'm going to take it?
Because it's going to be the one I want. That's fucking shit. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, if you get offered a deal that's shit, that means that they're willing to give you a deal and somebody else is willing to give you a deal as well.
True.
You know, and like if they're willing to give me, I don't know, let's just spitball a number. If somebody's willing to give me $200,000, that means there's probably, they know they can make that back. You know, so like I'm probably worth at least $500,000 to that company. I can go get, you know, and with that deal, I can go be like, yo, this person's trying to give me this deal. And I can go take that to another executive and be like, yo, or my manager, you know, whoever is running the show.
Shop it around.
Shop it around. But yeah, you got to have those stops in place, you know what I'm saying, to prevent that, because that's really where I'd be like, I'm going to end my life is if I like blew through $500,000 and like had nothing to show for it.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Like, fuck.
That'd be real tough.
Actually, you know who I was, the Academy brought in? Tehran. He's written like Apatet, like fucking massive hit songs. He wrote Pour It Up, Rihanna, like a bunch of shit like that. He talks about that. He got, I think, $1.5 million. Went from like a negative $60 in his bank account to $1.5 million to owing the IRS like $700,000.
Also, that money, that kind of money that you're talking about, doesn't really exist anymore. It
does if you have like hits in the pipeline, if you're like a viral
that's the thing, man.
If you're like a viral sensation, it does though, because people still get crazy pub deals depending on like who you are, and like because they also look at futures, right? And this is why DJs are good investments for like pub deals and stuff like that, because there's so many things, like so many facets that a DJ can be involved in, whether it be like touring, streaming, making content, and then also going and producing for an artist, producing their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like their output ability is so much higher than like a singer-songwriter who has to sit with their like folk music guitar and just write.
Which is weird because DJs were always like the bastard children of the music industry for like forever, like until very recently, you know?
I think that's like definitely shifted just because they have the ability to output. Like I said, I can do like, 5-10 songs a day depending on how the writers are.
Yeah.
Because,
they used to like shut down remixes all the time, even until very recently, and streaming and all that. Like, it's like, you guys are idiots, man. Nobody, no artist has ever like lost money because of a remix that blew up.
Remember that used to happen during when I was doing my YouTube stuff. Remember that happened a few times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gorgon City.
Yeah. Shout out to Gorgon City. Love them. The Chris Lake remix, remember?
Yeah.
That happened. They tried to take down they did file a claim with Drug from God, and I had to take it down. That happened with Potion.
Well, dude, even DJs posting live videos, or I became aware of it obviously doing routine videos and like freestyle and like DMC things. You put fucking 20 seconds of a popular song in a routine that is up on the internet, and you would get takedown notices. Like, it's like, how in any galaxy, how is this bad for your artist or for you as a company? It's so fucking stupid.
Are you posting your mixes on YouTube? You post them on YouTube, right?
I post some mixes on YouTube.
Yeah, because
they figured it out a little bit.
They've become a lot more lenient for sure.
Yeah.
And there's like the revenue sharing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because somebody was actually asking me about that the other day, and I've done like one or two. I just didn't know if you're the only other person I know that is doing that.
Of all of the mixes that we've put up over the last year, there's only been one that got flagged like this is fully
for a specific
muted,
song,
fully muted. Yeah, for a Jennifer Lopez song.
Okay.
Wow.
And all the other ones are just like Blocked in Russia is the most popular.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then everything else is like revenue split or demonetized, but you're good. It's not a strike on your account.
Yeah.
Speaking of radio, Obscene says, "What's up, by the way?" And thank you for premiering our record on your radio show.
Hell yeah, that was sick. I want to do that again.
We have a lot more in the pipeline.
Hell yeah.
Miami Funk Machine, by the way, that's who we're talking about here.
Yeah, and that also, now that I'm doing that radio show and we're starting this disco thing.
Is it a weekly thing now, or is it? It is weekly.
It's weekly. One mix a week. It plays twice, every Wednesday, every Sunday.
Okay.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Where do you do that?
Sirius
Globalization.
Oh! You have an actual radio show.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's
congratulations.
Dope.
That's super dope.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's super cool.
And he premiered one of the Miami Funk Machine records a couple weeks ago.
That's
dope. Which one was it? I know it has the theater artwork.
Last
Chance.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
that's cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's a machine, man. A machine. No pun intended. Yeah, he's God, we've done probably over 20 records together, and we got a bunch more coming down the pipe. So yeah, he's killing it, man. Killing it.
Yeah, like that's kind of the goal of this whole Celeste thing as well. One of the goals is to get to a point where the party's popping, people know it's a fucking disco party, and then you tap into like the disco community and you're able to bring people like Miami Funk Machine out, Godfather, there's a whole disco like network.
Yeah. So I don't know if I should say this, but they're all a lot of those guys are all in like a group chat together, and they're all. It seems like a very cool community that they're like always sharing like sample stuff and production tips, and because there's not a lot of them. It's a large group chat, but there's like maybe I don't know. If I had to guess, 20 to 30 dudes that are really doing it. And they're always offering advice on how to clear samples or replay stuff, like
the disco Illuminati is what we're hearing
like
about
literally
right now.
That's the
I'm
page.
not a part of it, but
that's the page they made.
Oh, is it?
That's a thing. The disco.
Is that really
Illuminati.
what it's called?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That group chat that you're talking about, for sure. My boy manager Mike, who's in Nashville, is in it, and he's running, I think, with Godfather, this disco Illuminati page.
That's hilarious. You just randomly said that, and that's actually what it's called.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, because a while ago, remember we all heard about that group chat that with all the big DJs,
producers,
the big producer DJs,
like
the fucking producer.
Did that end up
Illuminati.
being a real thing, or was that just like a myth?
No, it's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
I am yet to be involved, but
okay.
If I get in,
is it a WhatsApp group chat?
I'm sure it's a WhatsApp group chat.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a WhatsApp group
chat. I love that things like that exist.
Untraceable. Untraceable.
But I like.
Everybody's going to jail.
Has any of us peasants like actually found out if that's like true or not?
Who said it? Didn't Duke Dumont
I don't know.
Say it was real. I think Duke Dumont is the one who said it's real.
It's for sure real. I mean,
the disco thing is for real for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that like Diplo, Tiesto, Snake, Marshmello, all these guys are in some fucking group chat together.
Yeah,
like
sure.
there's like 100 world like internationally touring DJs. It would make sense if they like shared
those guys
shit
are
like that.
like. We have a Chicago DJ group chat that's not like active, not really, but like if something came up, right? Like if something came up, if there was some new spot opening that was trying to pay, below the rate, and I see that Gordo's in, playing there or something, like, then you get these guys together and you're like, yo, what's up? Like, we got a band together.
Because that's what Dante tried to do for years with the DJ meetup things, like 10, 15 years ago, and it never really happened. So that's cool that it's finally happening now. You should shame people that are undercutting, like
you also like get to the bottom of whatever's happening, and I got to imagine that the same way that is in this world, it's the same in that world. Like those guys all know each other.
I feel like everything at even like the bottom level of how you're saying like there's a group chat, like even everything else, like I feel like you deal with the same things at each level, but like there might be more moving parts. So like when you're starting out as a DJ, like you still deal with like the low rate type shit, or just like weird requests, and then you get to like, I don't even want to say my level, but you get to like a level of somebody that is like on an agency. Like you still deal with the same shit, except for now you have an agent that like tells people to go fuck themselves. And then you get to like famous DJ level, and you're still dealing with like the same type of thing, but now you have like a team who handles it. Like you're still like at each level you're dealing with the same shit. There's just more money involved.
That's kind of what I was trying to say.
Other than the top, I've been at almost every level, and it's all the same shit. And
that's what I've realized. Like even in life too.
Dude, like, even equipment, like you would think that like the top, it's like basically every festival they're gonna have the same thing. But like when you're talking about clubs, like even dudes that you would think like it's a no brainer, like you have, new CDJs, like because I also know a bunch of like top 1% dudes, and they're like, yeah, dude, it's the same shit as like when I was starting out in whatever city they were from. Like, you don't have my mixer? Like what I specifically said in the rider, this is every other DJ on the planet. Like this is like what their rider is like. Why would I know? Why would you not have this here? Like, it's all the same crap that everybody deals with all the time. Yeah. It's stupid.
That's so fucked.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song right now, it's got to be Anoter. I don't even know how you say
Another.
it. A-N-T,
I think it's
A-N-O-T-R.
I think it's just Another.
Another. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I see that. I'm really bad at that though. I just took it for
Another. That's a definite possibility. I've been saying
I have no idea what
Anoter. Like I'm fucking Scottish and can't speak English.
Don't do disparage Scottish people in this program.
Don't you disparage? That's funny. What is it though? Another.
I think it's Restless. They got two that's just so fucking good. I think Restless is it. I'm not 100% sure if that's the name. I'm bad with this. And thinking what I feel, or thinking something, or what do you feel, something like that. I'll look it up.
What's your favorite song right now?
Casey and the Sunshine Band, Get Down Tonight.
Come on, you're not like that.
Come on, dude.
I mean, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
We get it, bro. You're a DJ.
Is my favorite, probably group of all time.
Okay, what's your favorite current
right now?
song?
I honestly don't know. Sabrina Carpenter Espresso Mark Ronson remix.
I thought
you love that.
Oh, do you know about this?
Yeah.
It won the Grammy, which is well deserved for the best remix.
I didn't know it won a Grammy.
Oh, it is a.
I didn't know you got a Grammy for that either.
Banger. It is a fucking banger.
I've never heard.
I mean, other than well, right now,
I think Taste is better than Espresso though. Sabrina Carpenter Taste.
I don't even care about the originals. I'm just saying the drums on that Mark Ronson record. Oh my god.
Did you watch him on the Road podcast?
I saw a couple highlights. I feel so dumb saying this on podcasts. I'm not a podcast guy. I will watch I should watch the Mark Ronson thing. If my friends are on a podcast, something specific that I'm interested in, I'll watch it, but I don't like watch.
A really good podcast is especially if you want to know more about like how the industry works, like
I want to
songwriting,
know more about Afro House.
production.
God.
Bring Adam Pork back on here. Fucking
Adam Pork. That's
um,
Osei.
what'd you say?
That's Osei.
Yeah. If you a good podcast for that is called And the Writer Is. They'll have like Jack Antonoff, like they'll have
That's
like a
cool.
bunch of people. His episode's really good because you know he produced like that dude's insane because he'll produce like Taste for Sabrina Carpenter, and then he went and produced like all of Kendrick's new album too.
That's dope.
Like, and then he also produced
Which,
for
thank
like
you for
Taylor
that.
Swift.
Thank you
and
for
then-
the recommendation. I did listen to the album, and it was way better than I expected.
Which
the
one?
Kendrick album.
The new
Kendrick album,
Kendrick?
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Kendrick with a burning passion, but
Same.
that
I don't hate
album,
him. I'm always like, this
Nah,
is
I
not
hate
for
him.
me. I
That-
hate his voice.
I hate his voice. That album had the best Kendrick production I've ever heard.
so
on it,
that
for
that's
sure.
all
Jack
Jack
Antonoff.
Antonoff.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a couple songs. Dodger Blue is fucking banger.
I couldn't even tell you a
Squabble
single,
Up.
Not a huge
You don't
fan.
like the Debbie Dub sample?
I like that sample. Yeah.
That sample is crazy.
What did I hear?
dude.
Is it Kendrick and SZA? Is that a
Probably.
thing?
Yeah.
Probably.
30 for 30?
Yeah.
They got a.
I just heard that song for the first time yesterday, and it's a
Martin
fucking
or a Luther Vandross sample. Isn't
no.
it?
It's
Rich boy.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Rich Boy. Throw some D's.
It's
Which is-
Switch.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
Okay, you guys ready? It's
That's Luther.
It's
By-
Switch.
That's the new.
Call on me.
Yeah, because I think the
Switch
original-
is Switch is the artist, the group.
Is the original
I think
Throw
it's
Some
called
D's?
Call My Name.
That's the sample that throw some D's.
I think that's the vocals are the original or part of the original song, right?
Just while he looks for this, the Anter songs are "Relax My Eyes" and "How You Feel" are the two
Man, my hair's
Where's
all
the
crazy. Just fucking
bangers. boy.
flying around everywhere, dude.
Bangers.
It is
Also,
Switch. I Call Your Name. God damn, I'm good. It's the same sample except chopped worse.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I feel like they chopped throw some D's on it.
They didn't. It's the same. Well, maybe they included it, but like they chopped the original sample, but it's
Oh.
like way not as good. Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
Like,
the Disco Lines remix of "I Was Made for Loving You" by Kiss.
ooh.
Disco Lines is pretty fire. I fuck with his
Unreal,
stuff.
bro.
I fuck with his stuff and I fuck with him because he had the opportunity to be like just another like fucking tech house frat bro, and he like, I feel like he made like a conscious choice to not do that. You know,
Like not be John Summit.
huh?
Like in the music he makes, or in his personality.
In the music he makes, like
Okay.
he had the opportunity because like he was getting so big, and like he had the opportunity to just follow and be like every other tech house person, you know. And like I feel like the stuff he makes is it's still kind of like techie, but it's also more like Fred again making tech house music almost with some of the stuff. I don't know, it's just he has his own sound. Like when I think Disco Lines, I think of like you
Yeah.
know those type of songs.
He's his shit.
Yeah,
I
super dope.
If you guys want an update on my life, I just got an email with my tax return or my tax return, or if I'm going to owe money, which I'm kind of freaking out about. Let me give you a real
Is that what
real
you're
answer.
looking at right now?
Yeah, all right, hold
Wait,
on.
what are we getting a real answer on?
This is a real
Whether or
time-
not I owe money for
tax
my
update?
taxes. Yeah. All right, so you hear the real answer of what song I'm listening to now, or my favorite song. It's called the Kroon. Kroon is the name of the group, and it's called Bentley. And everybody needs to look at that up right now and listen to
Kroon,
it because it'll change your
Bentley.
life.
Bentley by Kroon,
Yes.
like a wedding crooner.
Yo, how's the Chicago?
Kroon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. White Shadow called Bruno Mars a wedding crooner, and I haven't stopped thinking about it every day since.
That
Which is wild because
so
Bruno
funny.
Mars is ahead, but he makes some wedding music. That's for sure.
You know what song I cannot stop listening to right now?
Wait, what's the name of it?
The song I just said,
Kroon,
Bentley.
Bentley.
Bentlye, I think.
I can't
It
find
just came out.
The
like,
only thing that comes up is Crooner Classes.
no, Kroon is the group.
K-R-O-O-N. Yeah.
It is not on Spotify yet.
I don't think so.
It just came out maybe like a couple days ago.
I don't see it.
I wonder if it's under the, because it's like a super group of dudes. I think.
The song I can't stop listening to right now is "Smooth" by Santana and Rob
Oh
Thomas.
my God,
nice.
are you serious?
That's a banger.
Yeah. I want to make a song like that.
That's a fucking banger.
That's a banger.
dog.
Do you think that's not a banger? This right now is the defining
probably
point
in
on
his
whether
corny
you
box.
continue to be my
To be your engineer,
or
well
not.
then yes, it's one of the greatest songs of all time. No, I don't.
It's probably you put it in your corny box when it came out, and you just
even have it.
have dubbed it that.
I don't
Really?
even have it.
Yeah,
no.
that song's a banger. Like, it's like summertime in New York. That's
What's
what that
the
song
record
feels
that
like.
samples that? The Maria.
No, that's DJ Khaled and Rihanna.
Yeah, but doesn't that?
That samples Maria by
Oh,
DJ
right.
Khaled. Wild Thoughts samples
Wild Thoughts.
Thank you.
Maria by
Okay,
Santana.
right. Okay, yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah.
I also just like the story behind that song though, like because I just went into a rabbit hole of that song because it randomly popped up on my thing and I was like, I remember this song and I listened to it and then I was like, this is such an interesting like song because you have the front man for Matchbox 20 on this fucking Latin rock song.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, see,
with
you were
Santana.
pissed. You were trying to get him for being white.
No, I wasn't. No, not at all. Bro,
yeah.
I'm very much so not like that. Don't say that. Like you guys know I am not like that. But like I went deep into the rabbit hole and it was one of those things where it was passed to him to write on to like help the other writer. And then usually when somebody writes a record, they also demo it. And so he demoed it and then they tried to get a few people, I think like Billy Joel and like a few other people to top line it and Santana didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I like this guy on it. He sounds cool on it. So they kept him on it and they'd never met until I think they like won the
performed it or
Grammy
something?
for it.
Yeah.
They performed it for it. And Santana, the first thing he told him, he asked him, he was like, you have a Latin girlfriend, don't you? And he was like, yeah, how'd you know? And he was like, I'd change my life to better suit your mood is only something a person with a Latin girlfriend would say.
God.
And I was like, damn, that's wild. That's is
so
very
funny.
much so true.
There's a story like that for that Zed, the middle record.
Oh,
that
yeah,
ended up
yeah,
being I forget what her name is, but
Haley
it went to
something,
like
right?
Yeah, it went to fuck, what's that?
it went to
girl's
Demi
name?
Lovato.
Demi
It went to
Lovato,
tons of like big female singers, and none of them did
yeah.
it right. And yeah,
I feel like that's how like all like staple
of that
records
happens.
come out. Same with Titanium and Sia.
Yeah.
David Guetta begged Sia to stay on the record.
yeah,
Begged her.
that goes to what we were talking about with like the writing camp stuff. There's
Yeah.
like they come up with this record, a bunch of different people demo it,
And they're
a bunch
very
of
much
different
so
beats.
like what happens is like everybody would love to be Taylor Swift, right? But like sometimes like you just like don't, you might not have, you might be a good songwriter, but you might not have the charisma, or you might not have that one thing that defines Taylor Swift from, so like songwriters, like singer-songwriters, they make their bag off songwriting, and sometimes they'll write like an EDM record that is just like, this doesn't really fit for me, type thing. Yeah, and I feel like that's how those records work.
Long Drink is a legendary Finnish favorite that's been around since the 1952 Summer Games. It's a deliciously refreshing blend of premium liquor, natural grapefruit flavor, and just the right amount of carbonation. Honestly, this is the stuff right here. White is sugar-free, blue is citrus, orange is peach, red is cranberry, black is extra strength, and they're all fire. New flavors dropping soon, so watch out for those. And they're just the best sponsor for this podcast. So the next time you're tuning in, make sure you crack open a long drink. Enjoy one while you're watching the show, because good vibes deserve great drinks. Let's go, champ. We're back to the episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. You're coming to an end of this academy, right? You said you got a couple months left. Are you staying in LA, or are you coming back to Chicago?
Oh no, I live in LA permanently now.
You're a LA guy.
Yeah, big LA
Through
guy.
and through.
Big LA guy.
We
I
lost
honestly,
you.
I think what is going to happen, I'm probably going to go back and forth between LA and Tokyo. Bounce back and forth between the two, because I do like a lot of K-pop stuff too. So like
You better
Korea,
get with James.
huh?
You better get with Dorian Westwood.
Seoul is only an hour and a half flight from Tokyo, so it's cool to just be based out of there and then make the trips.
James is the biggest K-pop DJ in the city. Speaking of white people taking colored people's jobs.
Wait, you're talking about in Chicago?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Wait,
Yeah.
who is this now?
Why are you saying that? I feel like this is a
Milk
play.
from Milk and Cooks.
Uh-huh.
Those motherfuckers are still alive.
Yeah,
Is he
bro.
really?
Yes.
What?
What makes you say this?
Because I just had him on the pod.
What?
He was telling me.
First of all, there's a K-pop scene in Chicago.
Well, it's so they started. He works for a company that started a K-pop night, and then he was just the DJ because he couldn't find a DJ, and then he like started liking the music.
Okay.
And then apparently there's a promoter throughout the country who throws all these K-pop events all over the country, but just from wherever he's at. And he was on the phone with the guy because they were trying to set up an event in Chicago. And then just through that connection, the dude got such good feedback from his DJ set that night. He was like, I want you to DJ all of my events around the country.
Oh, wow.
So he like legit travels the country doing K-pop nights.
The fucking milk and cookies, dude.
What
the milk and
fucking
cookies, dude.
upside down world do we live in, bro? Jesus.
I mean, he loves it, so.
I'm sure he does.
He does love it.
That's so fucking funny. That is
I
so
have nothing to say
fucking
about
funny.
any of
Like
this.
2025 cannot give me any crazier twists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milk from Milk and Cookies.
Mm-hmm.
The big Trump guy.
Big Trumper.
Big
K-pop,
Trump
he's
guy.
a K-pop
is
Trumper.
the K-pop.
Touring DJ
Is
around the country.
He's the K-pop connoisseur.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
We might as well just pack it in at this point.
Yeah.
We
Let's
will-
wrap this
I
shit
feel
up,
like,
dude.
I feel like every time I'm on the podcast, we talk about the world ending, and it's like we're just ready for it. So this is
This is
that
another
might be,
iteration of it.
That might be the.
This is no. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what this is? It's a recession indicator. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Wrap it up. Let's go.
among other things.
Say
yeah.
your outro and let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been an incredible conversation with two of my most favorite people. Yet again, did not speak one lick on anything that Ian does.
Wait. Okay. No. Wait. Okay. No.
day-to-day.
Pause. Okay. Bring it back. Let's do. What are we at? What time stamp are we at right now?
Hour 30.
An hour 30. Okay. What are they usually like? Hour 30, 2 hours?
Hour 30.
Okay.
yeah.
We have. Hour 30.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
gonna cut him.
we've gone.
You're gonna cut him off
we've
before we
gone
talk
to two.
about. Oh, we've gone to two.
If
Okay.
Diamond
We can
Cut
go to-
allows
Okay.
it,
The
I
next
allow
30.
it.
Let's dedicate the next 30 to what he does.
Well, what both of us do. I
And then
mean,
we can clip out the whole section where it's gonna make me seem racist, and then we just glue that.
First
I
of
feel
all,
like
you
me
can't
and Ruben
be
were on.
racist.
He cut out huge sections anyway. So
Oh,
Well,
okay, cool.
that was
Well,
Ruben.
he did, yeah,
That was
not-
Ruben.
yeah.
We had no creative control over our own podcast.
it came out good
We
though,
gave
right?
it to Boy Genius.
Did it
He
not come
did
out
whatever
good?
he did.
I'll let it.
I'll do it, yeah.
Here you go, yes.
That's so fucking
He
funny.
did
He
good.
really did that.
That's
He
the
did-
most Boy Genius shit.
Did he
ever.
not
That's-
do good though?
That's
I mean,
the most boy genius shit
I
I've
didn't
ever
even
heard.
watch it. I have no idea.
Really?
But I could only imagine he did great.
I was like, are you almost done with it? He's like, I'll get to it. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, let's go up soon.
Yeah,
He's
like
I'll get to
we're
it.
on a schedule. We have to post it.
Yeah,
That's so fucking funny. That's the most.
I forgot that he did that. Yeah.
That's the most boy genius shit I've ever heard of. All right, so the next 30 we talk about what Ian does, and I sit here quiet.
You got more
I
records?
promise this. Yeah. One for you.
Oh yeah, thank you,
and one
thank
for
you. Sick.
You already have yours.
Yeah.
Speaking of Boy Genius.
something that I did that finally came out after 3 years. I made a scratch record with 3 other DJ / producers, and that just came out finally a couple months ago. It's on Private Stock Records, called Coffee Breaks Volume 1.
And it is coffee brown too.
It is coffee brown. And yeah, I produced.
Wait, the record is Coffee Brown?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did 2 beats and 2 scratch sentences on there. Everybody did that.
Sick.
Yeah. So Private Stock Records, if you are interested, I think there's still some for sale.
Dope. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut with it. We should go cut with it.
we should go cut with that.
We
Invade
should,
my
because I
girlfriend's
haven't-
office, my fiance's office.
Your fiance.
I Oh, you have to.
and this is a good lead in to
Which is
Ian
funny because
Osborn
that's also
audio.
not what I do at all. Like, but I also produced. Yeah, I produced this record, or we all produced it like 3 years ago, and just for various delays and weird things that finally got pressed. There's a whole, I guess, a million things going wrong as far as like fires at pressing plants and pressing is not being approved. I don't even know the whole deal, but Yeah, I made a scratch record, so enjoy.
Sick. How can people get it if they want?
So Private Stock Records is the label. They have a Bandcamp. I believe it's privatestockrecords.com. They're on Instagram. I mean, they're on everything. But they do a. I mean, it's an amazing label. This is
Private Stock from Fort Knox. Private Stock.
No,
Like, they
this
have the
is
studios.
No. So this is they're based out of Pittsburgh,
okay.
and they do a lot of kind of like re-edits of soul records, like Alter Tapes from Chicago's done some stuff for them. It's Zimmy's label. He's the head of the label. They do like mostly re-edits or like remixes. This is the first scratch record or really anything deviating from that they've done, and it's really dope. Everybody like killed it. There's some
sick.
Double A is like an old school drum and bass dude who also makes re-edits, and he has like
I definitely have his Slum Village
I think that's
remix.
Nick Bike, obviously, he's incredible. Cutso from the Bay, and then myself. So we all tried to make like cool, basic kind of scratch beats, but not a scratch nerd tempo. Like, I don't know if anybody knows or cares about this, but it seems like any scratch record at this point is like 40 beats per minute. That's like the new wave, and we're like, no, like my beats are at like 110 and like 95, 96. So
nice.
Yeah, it's for normal people.
Normal.
It's cool because it's like four dudes who are not known in the scratch world, but also like are kind of live in that world a little bit, but are not like a part of it. So it's like some outsider shit, which is dope. It's a different take on like on scratch records. And one of my things is all like skipless drums, and I made it for producers too, like to snatch those drums. So yeah, it's dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, that's also not really what I do
Yeah.
on my normal day to day. That would be
Introduce
mixing
yourself.
and mixing, mastering. I have a studio 2 blocks from here, and yeah, I mean, we've worked together. He used to be right across the hall from me, and then moved away. So sad.
See ya.
Out of here.
Yeah,
Couldn't
what
do
you
it anymore.
went to LA first, and
Too
then,
good for you guys, honestly.
That's
Wait, did you
fucked
go
up
to-
that you're staying in LA.
Did you go to Tokyo
What do you mean?
first when you left here?
Yeah, I went to
Yeah, you
Tokyo
did, okay.
first, and then
Then back
why
to
is
LA.
it fucked up?
It's fucked up, man.
Why?
It's like, you're just gonna take.
The music market is
You're just gonna take everything that you've learned here, and just leave with it.
everything I learned here. I learned on YouTube.
Good answer.
First, secondly, the Chicago music market is not nearly as big as LA's music market is. That's just for obvious reasons. Like, that's no diss to Chicago, but
I mean, LA is where.
and
all
also
the music
too,
happens.
people do not work here. Like,
We drink.
we
here.
work in LA, dude. Like, dead ass, like, sessions. I could do multiple sessions a day here, like, and finish multiple songs a day. Here, you do a session. It's like, okay, this is cool, and then you might not hear the song forever. You know what I'm saying? The song might never fucking get done.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Enough about. Let's talk about him. Don't ask me another question this whole time.
No, I mean, we're,
Well, like, all right, like, I got a question. I'm making this mix in Ableton for the first time ever. I've never made a mix in Ableton.
good
before.
question.
Like, straight up in Ableton. Not I'm
Yeah.
recording my
No, yeah.
turntables into Ableton.
Yeah.
I'm just piecing everything together
That's fine.
in Ableton.
That's fine.
Poser.
Are you trying to EQ it and
I'm
things?
trying to
like,
mix. I gotta get certain songs. I'm using a lot of old songs.
Sure.
This fucking thing doesn't stand up to this remix. I gotta
Yeah.
be able to boost, whatever, compress it. I don't know any of this shit. I don't know anything I have to
he's
do.
pretty
That's
much
one of the
gotta learn
services that I
production.
do is essentially mastering for mixes, for DJ mixes.
Okay.
Speaking of Zimmy, who's the owner and founder of Private Stock, he puts out a dope mix every year called "You Gots to Grill," and it's all summertime like grilling music. And I think he's on volume like 15 or something. And the last 4 or 5 I've mastered for him. So he will send me one long, or it's usually 2 long tracks. One is like the mix, and if there's like drops or like kind of extra curriculars in there. But I offer that service where people will put together a full DJ mix, and I will compress it, possibly do a little bit of EQing, because, you know, if you're trying to do a bunch of different, like with Zimmy, he does music from a bunch of different eras, like from the 60s all the way up till now. That's a massive difference in loudness, tone, bass, EQ, everything. So I don't mess with it too much, but one of the things I do is kind of like push everything down so it's at a similar level, so there's not big volume jumps in from song to song. It just makes everything more even.
Yeah.
Which is what I do for normal records anyway. It's like, you know, the bottom line is there's a lot of great DJs, there's a lot of great producers, songwriters, guitar players, drummers, producers, you know, whatever. Most people don't. The dirty little secret of the industry, first of all, is nobody writes their own music like we talked about. The other thing is like 999 times out of 1,000, they had somebody else mix the record or at least master it. Because there's very few people in the world that are good producers or songwriters or whatever, and also can have the technical ability and like objectivity to mix their own music. So, or they might be able to get by with a mix, but mastering, they send it out. Like nobody works on their own. Like nobody
should work on their own.
Nobody should work on the, you know, there's a few people, like when I work with Apollo, like I'm not doing drastic changes to any of his stuff. His stuff is like 95% there.
Clean as fuck, boy.
Clean. I usually will dirty things up. I tell new clients, like I make clean things dirty and dirty things clean, or things that sound bad good and things that sound good bad. Like a lot of times in a record, I'm making something that sounds good and clean and pristine objectively worse, but in the context of the record, it fits, you know. And that's what I do all day, every day, in a room by myself. Me and Larry.
How long does it take you to do a mix? Like not a mix for someone's song, but a DJ mix.
Like how long would it take me to master a DJ mix?
Yeah.
The problem with that is, I mean, it's a few hours because I have to obviously go through the whole mix, which is usually an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like, I'll skip around. The good thing is obviously like when you put it in your DAW, whether it's Logic or Ableton or whatever, you can see the waveforms, right? So if something is sticking out, I know without even listening to it, that part's too loud. I'll just lower that first, you know, or if there's something that's really quiet, the first thing I do when I master a mix like that is like just go through and volume match things. So also when you mix like DJing or mix in Ableton or whatever, two things going together, these are records that have already been mixed and mastered. So when you put them on top of each other, it's going to get loud. So usually every blend point is going to be slightly louder than just the straight up song, if that makes sense. So the idea is to even all that out before you start getting into like compression and saturation and anything like that. So it's a few hours. You know, it's like, I don't want to, it's doing stuff like that is weird because I don't want to charge somebody as much as I would to like work on actually mix a record where there's like, can be like 150 tracks, but the time, investments there, because if it's an hour mix, I have to at least listen to the mix once, and usually it's going to be 3, 4, or 5 times. So I would say like 4 hours normally for an hour mix, and then it takes a while to bounce it, and it's, you know, it's a bit of a time commitment. But you know, I would advise DJs like that, whether you're doing live mixes or whether you record a live mix or, you know, do it in Ableton, Logic, Pro Tools, whatever. If you want to release it, it's a good idea to have somebody at least like put a lid on it.
Yeah,
you know?
you could just do it live.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Well, if
you were a real DJ, you'd do it live.
Here's the thing.
Are you talking about for the radio stuff?
No,
that
this is for me to like actually release, and I put a lot of time into it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so like a studio mix, like
that's how me and Heavy used to do the Super Dynamite mixes though. I'd never seen somebody do that until he was doing that.
Mixes in Ableton?
Yeah, because I like all the mixes that I do them live. So like I don't know. I just feel like it's better like that. I feel like it's more true to who I am. I don't know.
Yeah, when I used to do radio mixes, I
As a
would
DJ.
do them live. But I've done a couple studio mixes, one of which was for DJ City, and I did kind of like a hybrid approach. And what I did is I would lay the things out, but I would actually bounce them if I needed to make it, you know, like change BPMs or whatever, and I would get the levels right. Like if one was way louder than the other, I would do it in Ableton, but I would bounce it out like that. And I would actually do I would record the blends live, so that way you can have a little action in there. You can, you know, maybe hit some echo on the way out, or like, you know, like do a scratch out. So that way everything is still perfectly lined up, but there's action happening in the mixes. Like I never like having just static 8-bar blends the whole time, you know?
I feel like though too, part of it maybe is me also just being lazy, because I feel being lazy because it takes so much more time to sit and do a mix in Ableton like that. As
I've only
opposed
done
to just
one, yeah, like-
running through an hour mix and doing it
Totally.
live.
Yeah.
But also too, I'll go through and I'll like roughly do the mix, and like I'll change song positions around and stuff like that. And one thing I feel like is I can't gauge the energy properly if I don't do it live.
Same,
Because
yeah.
like I can just blend a bunch of songs together in Ableton and like make them sound good, but then like I just feel like DJing it and playing it gives me a better like energy check.
Yeah.
For sure. I just listened. I went to the gym this morning and listened to this mix that I made, and I was like, there's a couple parts that are just not, if the flow is fucked up.
Yeah.
I gotta fix
Was it a
some
live?
shit.
Was this a live mix, or was this the thing you're working on?
This is the thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's really, people do. I think people do Ableton mixes like that just because if they do weekly things, like, so I used to do a monthly mix for Vocalo Radio, and I would do it live. The only times I've done studio mixes was for the DJ City thing, and then I think I did one for Underground actually when they were doing like a mix series.
No, yeah, it's definitely
Which like
helpful.
immediately got pulled for some reason when I, you know, like going back to like the, you know, SoundCloud or YouTube or whatever, like, like they put it up and it was gone in like a day. Like, it's like, well, good thing I spent all this fucking time on this, you know?
It's definitely helpful for these weekly mixes because I don't have at the moment a setup where I can just fucking
Well, so
hit
you use
record
Serato,
on.
so you need 2 computers. Like, if you're going to record live, I mean, I guess you don't.
Wait,
So
does
I'm gonna
Ableton
try
not-
this tonight actually
Does
because
Ableton
there's
not-
some cuts I need to put into this mix
Yeah.
that I have it laid out. I have spots for cuts and I want to go back and cut. And apparently I can do the input of one of my Ableton tracks as my Serato output and just do it
Yeah, I
in the
think you
same
can,
computer.
yeah.
Does Serato and Ableton not have the bridge anymore? Remember when they had that?
That was the thing.
Why did
I
they-
think that died a long time. I
Why,
think
though?
people just didn't use it.
Because it wasn't really for like recording your mix.
It was for editing, right?
It was for like production. It was for like, it wasn't for doing DJ shit in Ableton. It was for doing
Ableton
Ableton,
shit
shit
in D-
while you're DJing.
Really?
See,
Yeah,
I thought
I
it was
think.
more you can record a live mix and edit it later.
That's what I used it for.
yeah.
Oh,
But
I
now
I never used it. I didn't
what I
even
do
have
now is
Ableton
I
at
just
that point.
record my master right in Serato, and then like say I fuck up a transition, I'll just go back to the
And
top of the
redo that.
song and just redo that
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you typically you don't really do that, but sometimes if you like miss the mark and you're like, damn, I feel like that could be better, you just
Yeah,
go
that's
back
what
and
I would
redo
do
it.
when
It's
I
like,
would do.
whatever.
Yeah.
my
So I'm
Buffalo
like,
mixes.
and the other thing I love about doing it in Ableton is like I can just kind of fuck around. I can just lay shit out. I'm like, oh, I want to put this track with this track, do it, fuck with it. I don't like how it sounds, rip it out. Put
But
something
can you
else
not
in.
see? But then you can't see like the what key the song and stuff is in. Do you not do any of that, or do you
Well,
do
I pull
it
it
before?
straight from my Serato, so I'm doing
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you
Doing
like
that.
you plan it out in Serato first,
Serato?
right? Or at least no.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be so weird to just be like, "Oh, I like this song, and pull them into Ableton without
Yeah, my mind
without
doesn't work
vibe
like
checking
that.
them first.
Yeah.
See that, but that's what I like. You're checking it live. You're just You're just.
Not
"All
really,
right, I'm
though.
putting this with this. Yeah, because it's not permanent. It's just 2 tracks sitting there. I don't like it. I'm fucking nixing one.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It feels a lot less permanent to me than like going in and recording a mix and then listening to it and being like, I didn't like that. I got to go record this shit again. It's like I'm not actually recording something. I'm just throwing shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Against the wall.
that's an interesting way of doing it. I think it would, to me, it would come quicker the other way by actually putting my hands on it. But I mean, Dude, I mean, I do that with mixing too. It's like, all right, I need to, like, you know, there's hundreds of things sometimes happening at once. Like, you know, by EQing this kick drum or hi-hat or bass line or whatever, like I try different things and just kind of throw some things at the wall sometimes. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
But, so that's an interesting way of thinking about it, like DJing or putting in mixes, like just throwing some things at the wall. Like, you know, that happens all the time live DJing. Like you're kind of like, oh my God, the song's about to run out, or just like, oh, like, you know, you're a couple drinks in, like maybe these songs would work together and you never would have thought that way in a different capacity, you know? So it's just a different way of thinking about it. So
I used to have a nightmare all the time.
Still have
tracks
that
running out?
nightmare.
Where the track is running out
That's
and
how
I'm
I know
in like
you're not
a
a
massive
DJ
club
anymore.
and like I can't find a track to play.
That's how I know you're not a DJ anymore. You don't have that nightmare anymore. I have that nightmare
in a
regularly.
really long time.
regularly still?
Regularly.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was just telling him when he asked how Joy was, like, I was like, dude, I haven't played a fucking nightclub like that in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, other than, or was that you?
You're on your Calvin Harris shit now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's 800 tracks on Spotify that have over 1 billion streams. Calvin Harris has 20 of them.
Damn.
Yeah. Calvin Harris
He's a beast,
is the
man.
undisputed GOAT of dance music.
Kid knows what
that's
he's
the
doing.
hill that I will die on that hill.
So this is an interesting thing that Dolo actually brought up when we were talking to the No Good Boys, because they're looking at like a potential deal to sign and running through the, should we do this? Should we not? Is this good? Is this not? Whatever. They're looking at it. And Dolo brought up the point of like, you know, is this the point of someone's massive career where like their sound changes a little bit? Because Calvin Harris used to make like the Blog House, like funky kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he came back with like the clean cut.
Super like,
Yeah. Fucking
main
all of
stage.
his big shit.
Yeah.
And was that the moment that he kind of was put into the machine and they were like, you're an incredible artist and we know what to do with you, do this?
I think he's one of the few people that is going to say, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, because he has the track record to say that. Nobody else does.
Yeah. So,
Or very few people
and
do.
with him, he was producing for, actually, you know, a lot of the big DJs like Snake, I think Diplo too.
Yeah.
Snake, Diplo, Marshmello is an interesting one, not really, but Calvin, Guetta, and
Tiesto?
Yeah, so
not Tiesto.
what are you trying to, what's the...
They were all producing for big artists before.
Like
they
ghost
were
producing?
big DJs. Ghost producing, or just like producing in the way of like, oh, I'm going to
I
produce
don't-
this song on Gaga's new album.
Well, Marshmello was fucking...
I said, yeah,
Okay.
Marshmello's not in that. I said Marshmello, but then I was like, oh, he's
Wait,
not
so
in that.
what's the list?
Calvin, Guetta, Snake, Diplo, and
Who were they producing?
Snake
for?
did Lady Gaga's.
Yeah, but that was after he
shit
had
on-
blown up.
No, it was before too. Because that's what got him. That's what
He
got
did
him into
the R. Kelly record with Gaga.
Yeah, but he did another one too. There's another one that he did. Anyways, they were all producing. Calvin for sure, like
Yeah.
was doing it. Guetta for sure, and then
Well,
Diplo kind of already had his own thing going on, but producing for other people also.
Diplo
helped
also was one of the
catapult him.
first like open format DJs
yeah.
in Philly
So
back in the day.
those guys, Calvin was like already producing and doing his thing, and he actually talks about this. And I think what was the track that he started doing that big room? Fuck, I can't remember the name. Huh?
Bounce?
With Khalees?
Was it Bounce?
It was either Bounce or
It was one where he.
I feel like the one with Adele came out before that, right?
No, it's one
Is
where
it
he talks
Adele?
about the snare being like way too loud in the mix, and
I
he
don't know.
did it on purpose because it was so substantially different from the rest of his records. And then that record forward, he started doing like the mainstream dance shit. With the No Good Boys, the only thing that would benefit them from having a deal is like a potential cash injection into their business, but like that's going to be recoupable against anything else that they get. Like, so if somebody advances them $2 million, like that $2 million, now they're owned, like they have to repay that $2 million back.
Right,
you
it's
know?
a loan. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they already have their own thing going on. Like they don't need a deal.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
how
Unless
big are
they're
they?
going to
How
start.
big of? I mean, are they talking about just like a, like I could see them signing with a bass music label, like, and it would be a perfect fit because it's like what they do anyway. Or are they talking something like massive publishing thing?
Yeah, and
we
then,
probably shouldn't also include this because I don't want to put them out on blast like that.
Because then also, like, if they're gonna sign like a publishing deal, right? Then it's like publishers, like, say you give me $1 million for publishing, and that's maybe like a 3-year contract. Now, as a publisher, you're going to put me in every fucking studio session 4 times a day, like around the city or wherever. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I don't know the real details, but what I do know is that there's a contingency in the deal that this label has to approve the song before it goes out. So they don't get to say, we love this song, we want to put it out. If the label says we don't love it, it's not going to go out. And that was what sparked the conversation of like the machine. Dolo was like, it could be, they see the potential in you and they know what they want to do with you, and they could turn you into, you know, what they want, and that could be what you want, or is it not what you want?
It depends on what the label is and what they're looking. I mean, if it's like some pop music stuff, that could be a big no-no because they're going to want them to make stuff that they're not comfortable making.
Right. If
it's like a smaller, like I'm already in my head, I'm like thinking of what labels they would be perfect for.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I know that this label I really like called Vision out of the Netherlands, like they put out a lot of young artists, but they also won't really put stuff out unless they are like, you know, unless they are approved of the record. Mm-hmm. But it's, for the most part, something like that, it's not that like, oh, we don't like it. It's like, oh, you know, the mix on this is wrong, or there's this part that comes out of nowhere. It's like the people that run the label are also DJs and the best producers on the planet. Yeah. So like, it's like,
once you get,
it's like a good thing, really
into like kind of like the business side of like I call it like the LA business side, or like the pop music business side of really anything, like any music, you realize that like 98% of the time the label has no clue what the fuck they're talking about. Like, actually MK talked about this in an Instagram reel that he posted the other day. Like, all of his biggest songs he literally had to fight with his label to put out.
Yeah.
And they're all his biggest songs, like billions of streams. Like, even like 17 is arguably his biggest song ever. I don't know, probably
maybe the best song ever made.
Couple hundred million plays.
Yeah, I was
had to fight with the label to put that song out. And it's like, the more stories you hear about this, because you hear them all the time, especially being in LA, like, labels have no clue what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Ever.
So why go with one?
Because somebody's giving you a fucking $1 million advance sometimes. And also too, like, even sometimes like taking a bad deal, like, say you came Trent to me, Reznor. Right? It could be, but say you came to me, right? Like with a publishing deal for $150,000, right? We negotiate, you say you want it to be 3 years. I'm going to negotiate you down to 24 months, 2 years automatically. And that's not the best publishing deal, but $150,000 for 2 years, that's $75,000 a year. If you can't live on $75,000 a year, then go do something else. You know what I'm saying? But now I have a cash advance to literally just go do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying? It takes me out of survival mode, having to like wake up and be like, fuck, how am I gonna get money today? You know what I'm saying? To like eat and shit like that. And it puts you in like pure creative mode. And now you're able to operate like within whatever means you want to operate to be able to create. And that could literally change people's lives.
But like, you also have to pay that money back if nothing.
Yes, you do. But if you get $150,000 from a publisher, this is why record deals aren't good. You should always take a publishing deal or an admin deal. But depending on what publisher you go with, like, you could still get fucked. But like, most of the time, publishing deals are where it's at. If you give me $150,000 and I make the next fucking Apatet or the next fucking
17.
Pandey replay or the next 17 during that publishing deal, I'm paying that $150,000 back just off that song and still making money on the song.
True.
It's not like you don't get any money back, where in a record deal you're kind of just like, fuck, they're like, yeah, we're still gonna take fucking 70% of this. Like, you still make money on that record, and then but then your deal's done still after two years, and now I have this bag of songs that I made. And now
you have leverage.
We renegotiate, or I go to a new publisher, and it's like, you know, then the deal goes up.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Record deals are tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, everyone that's doing well, I feel like, and this is just me looking from the outside, I feel like these record labels are just trying to trick them, just trying to get them so that they can take advantage of them.
Yeah, it's a different game now.
Because you're out here already doing well. You're fucking selling out shows.
Well, they're trying to get viral people.
Merch, you're going viral.
Remember that label? I had a really popular label hit me up like a month ago, and they wanted to sign one of my tracks. And I was like, okay, like let's see the contract. They sent the contract. They wanted to own my masters in perpetuity. They wanted to own my publishing in perpetuity. They wanted a 70-30 split in favor of them for publishing. And there was some other crazy. I couldn't release any records for like 2 months. They didn't want to advance me any money to deliver a master because I have to pay him.
Right, yeah.
Like I have to pay him to master a song. So like then that's me giving him his master fee out of my pocket and not recouping anything from the label. Like, bro, people are just giving out bad deals out here. And like it's even crazier to give out a bad deal, especially when I can throw your shit in Chat GPT and find out in like 30 seconds if it's a bad deal, like, you know. Yeah.
What do you ask Chat GPT? You put it in there, and what do you say?
You upload the contract, and you're like, no. You upload the contract, and you're like, give me like pain points of the contract, or like, you know, whatever, like any potential hassles or like legal fees, whatever. And then it'll do that, and then you can be like, okay, renegotiate a better deal. And then you can be like, include this, and that. And then obviously you want to still take this shit to a lawyer.
Yeah.
You still want to take this shit to a lawyer, but like it, you know, lawyers charge by the hour. So it's like if I can give you a contract and be like, yo, is this good? And it takes you an hour to say yes, and I'll just give, you know, pay you for the hour, but instead of revising a whole contract, etc. But
it's a dirty game. I feel like. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but it just seems like these guys are holding on to the last bit of what they got.
They are,
you know, like I feel like they don't have a lot anymore, which is why they scrub YouTube for any snippet of their music being played, because they're freaking out. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why they also own all the fucking distros now, and they also own Spotify. Like that's why like the whole Drake and Kendrick thing, like Drake kind of had a point to sue for that fucking, you know, because he sued Universal and iHeartRadio because they were pushing Not Like Us so hard. Like Not Like Us would pop up in your recommendations even if you were listening to like Espresso.
Oh, for real?
Or like some crazy, which is absolutely insane. Like,
can you sue for that though? They just get to do what they fucking want. Yeah, because it was their business.
It was like a favorable. Well, no, it's a publicly traded company. All of these are publicly traded companies.
Yeah, I feel like he had some proof that there was some shenanigans going on.
They settled. Yeah. So when you settle, you know, it's like, kind of.
Well, we got to wrap this so Diamond Cut's not in the fucking basement just working all day on a 6 hour.
Sorry.
My bad, Diamond Cut.
Speaking of paying people, we're gonna have to
do the outro again.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me. This is an incredible episode. Fantastic conversations. Just really, you know, things to think about, and good points had been made. And I think that I'm giving up Afro House because of the color of my skin.
Oh my God. I knew it. Use the first outro. Use the first outro you fucking did. Let's wrap this up.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment. Algorithm activating activity. Let's go, champ. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll definitely have you back when we can. Hopefully Apollo doesn't blow up too big. If he does, you know, I got a lot of fucking footage to chop up. I got a lot of footage to chop up, and they can say whatever I want.
That's so funny.
Peace.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.